Texans play here, an Odyssey station.
This is a journey into sound.
Much as you try to bury it, the truth is out there.
The truth lives right here, Houston.
On this day, I see clearly.
Sports Radio 610 presents Area 45 with Bajani and Creighton.
Let's go! Sean Bajani and Patrick Creighton. The first ever episode of Area 45 on these airways, Sports Radio 610. PC, good to have you back, my man.
Dude, it is so good to be home. For those of you who don't know, whole reason I came down to Houston, March 1st, 2013, I started right here at Sports Radio 610. This was my first job in Houston. I was here for 3.5 years. And now 7.5 years later, the prodigal son has come home. Got my bag of gold. Got my freaking partner. We're going to kick some ass.
Let's go.
And evening sports radio is freaking back.
I don't know how long it's been gone, but it's been too damn long. 5 years has it been? Time has been a warp. I almost have a 4-year-old at home. It's been a long time since I've been on the air at night with you, the listeners out there. Man, I am excited to get this thing going. PC, couldn't ask for a better dude to have in studio with me, my man. Let's do this thing. It's going to be great. Chris Santiago, you've heard him here on Sports Radio 610. He's done every damn show there is to do under the sun. He's going to be our producer every single night. My man, Chris, you ready to do this thing?
What it do, baby? How y'all doing, man? Welcome, Houston. Welcome to Area 45, and thank you, guys. Let's have a good show, fellas.
Let's do it, man. One of many, we hope, and we want you to be a part of it. 713-572-4610. You know the way to be in touch with us. That's how you can hit us up if you want to call. Yeah, the phone lines are open. They are wide open. 713-572-4610. We want to hear from you throughout the night. A lot of stuff, obviously, to get to. You can call. You can text. Man, it's been a long time. 10 years ago, Patrick, you would have said, what in the hell is Twitch? Well, you can watch us on Twitch, too. Okay?
Dude, 10 weeks ago, I would have said, the hell is Twitch?
You know what Twitch is 10 weeks ago. But, hey, it's on. It's out there. We got our main man, B. Scott, to thank for putting together the digital side of things. That dude is an ass kicker. He takes names. He keeps receipts, but it's all good. We just want to make sure we wind up on the good side of B. Scott. But he's here making sure everything is up and running for our first ever show. And Tyler Milner, who, on Sports Radio 610, been pimping the show out as well. Appreciate him. Everybody for getting us ready, up and coming, man, for this first ever show. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. And you got us every night, Monday through Friday, PC, 7 to 10, right here on Sports Radio 610. We have a lot to share with the people about what's coming up, not just on this show tonight, this week, next week, but hey, baseball season's right around the corner, too. We got some big things planned for the Astros.
By the way, I want to give a shout-out to everybody who saw the first hype video for this show and thought that I was talking about the Astrodome. This was hilarious because when we first did that, it was like, all right, well, what's the most
that was my hope.
Sports-centric building? What's the most famous sports building in Houston? Right? It's the Astrodome. So let's zoom in on the Astrodome. What's more Houston than the Astrodome? And the number of people are like, is the dome going to get blown up? Like, if the dome was going to get blown up, guys, it would have been leaked by, somebody in government. And let's be real, nothing about the dome has been said since Ed Emmett was no longer on Commissioner's Court. I'm not trying to say that the people currently on Commissioner's Court are completely useless and have no idea what the hell they're doing. I'm not trying to say that. All I'm saying is, since Ed Emmett left, there has been zip, zilch, and nada said about the dome. Listen, once upon a time, I had done like my own little drawing rendition of how we could turn the dome into a hockey arena with a hotel and stores and shopping and restaurants.
Casino?
Well, at the time, that was not really on the plate, but
be room for that.
We'd probably need a bigger building for that, if we're going to be real. But, the amount of money that costs, apparently nobody wants to put up because the county doesn't want to sell the building.
Yeah.
They don't want to fix it. They don't want to take it down.
Hey, you're right, though. I told you the moment that we created that.
You said that was going to happen.
I hope people think something's going on with the Astrodome. My own uncle, who I told to his face he was in for Christmas, right? I said, hey, I'm going to do the show. We're starting nights back up again. And he was all excited about it, looking forward to it. And literally, we put that video out, what was it, 2 weeks ago? And he's the first person to text me. He goes, dude, what are they doing with the dome? I'm like, nothing, you moron. I've got a show. That's the tease. Come on. And he's like, oh, yeah. That was so good.
So the show's called Area 45, which, for those of you who haven't figured it out yet, the 45 kind of runs right through Houston. It'll play on word to Area 51, where we're Area 45. There's a lot of interesting things that have happened here in the city of Houston. Mm-hmm. Houston kind of has its own history, has its own, what do we call them? Urban legends and things like that.
Uh-huh.
Right? But the idea of, look, everything, it runs right down the city. Everything about this show is, a lot of it's going to be Houston-centric. So Houston sports, Houston lifestyle, Houston urban myths, Houston everything. We want to have a lot of fun with this. And, so I started putting out a one picture a day of an athlete wearing 45.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, all right, how many days is it going to take somebody to say, all right, what's with the connection with all the guys wearing 45?
You got nothing.
Would it be 2 days? Would it be 3 days? It was 6 freaking days before one person said, hey, I'm sensing a 45 theme. So quick on the uptake, guys.
I didn't think anybody guessed anything of it, because I've seen on social media people post pictures of random athletes and things like that. And so when I was looking at your post, I was like, people aren't going to think anything of this. PC, you got to step your game up something, man. I mean, there's only so many 45s from Houston that you could put out there, too.
I found there's quite a bit. Although some of them might be, found more in Obscure Sports Quarterly than they might be on the cover of SI. Although
exactly.
Maybe Obscure Sports Quarterly is going to last longer than SI at this point. We're not entirely sure. But, man, this has been a long time coming. It is kind of like full circle. For me. So it's a little surreal. It's really exciting. And I'm so happy to be back here on Sports Radio 610. I'm telling, people, I told, our boss, Parker, it's like, I was really blessed for a long time to work with one of the greatest partners that I could ever work with in Nate Griffin, who used to work here with us at Sports Radio 610. Nate and I did a show for almost 6 years. And now I get to work with Sean, tremendous guy, great partner. And I'm really fortunate that I get to work with two of just the best people that you get to work. In every business you're going to find, overall, you're like, all right, those people are okay. I'm not going to hang out with them. They probably cut my neck for a nickel. But I get to work with two, legit dudes, and I'm really excited about that.
I appreciate it. I appreciate that, man. I can't say enough about you. It's been a long time. I feel like almost a different lifetime. We used to come on right after you on Saturdays, I think. Or you used to come on right after me. I can't remember. No, it was 11 to 2.
I
and
came after you on Sundays.
Sundays, that's what it was. Yeah, the Sunday brunch.
So it was you and Murph, right?
Man, it was me and Murph. It was me and Paulie G. It was me and Howard Chen. It was me and Alex Del Barrio. I did a show with everybody that's probably ever worked here. And only until the last 2 months, I'd say, had I ever worked with John Lopez and Sean Pendergast. It'd been years since they've been here, and I finally had a chance to work with them. So now you talk about coming full circle. You and I probably did a show together the first week or two that you were actually here in Houston, and since we've done nothing. And now it's going to be us every single night, so I'm excited for that. We're going to have a lot of fun. But, you were just talking about the show name, Area 45. Fantastic. I love it. It encompasses what Houston is all about in a lot of different ways. And you said it. We want this show to be all things Houston, right? One big, kind of melting pot. We want to try to localize everything. Keep it about Houston because, there's not been consistent local sports talk in this market since we stopped doing it. And now that we're bringing it back, I think it should be just about Houston. There's a lot of people out there driving, sitting at home, tinkering around in their garage, just wanting to listen and hear about local sports talk and getting you ready for the next day, talking about what the day had been. Well, that's going to be us, and we're glad to be with you and be a part of the last portion of your day and get you started for the next one. So that's
all right, now hold
that's
up
what I'm
here.
excited
Hold
about.
up here, Sean. Hold up here. We gotta have our first little conversation here.
Uh-oh.
I've been doing evening sports talk in this city now for the last 5.5 years. Are you just crapping on everything that I've done for 5.5 years, or are you trying to say, dude, the station you were on, nobody could hear the signal outside of their own parking lot, so
I didn't say
maybe it
that.
doesn't quite count?
I didn't say that. I was merely pointing out the fact that while you and I'd been on nights for a long time as well, way back in the day, this is the first time
The
that
Odd Couple
we're
with
bringing
Sean
it.
Bajani and Barry Warner.
Man, that's a different lifetime ago.
And a shout out to Barry Warner, who was the very first person to come up and introduce himself to me the first day I started. So it's March 1st, 2013. We have a big
Why do you
staff
remember
meeting.
this day? Because it was staff meeting.
So the staff meeting where I get basically, fed to the Sharks. Oh, we have a new hire. Let's introduce Patrick Creighton. And there's this room of people who are staring me down like I'm about to steal their children. I am getting so many death stares, and who is this freaking person? Everybody's looking at me like they're staring holes to me. Barry comes up to me, hey, New Yorker, how you doing? Barry with his whole thing, Barry very gregarious. And Barry, one of the first people, was the first person to come up. He's like, don't worry about them. They'll get used to you eventually. They did. He was right. They did. But Barry Warner was the very first person to just introduce himself to me. Love Barry.
He's great, man. You're a very easy person to get used to, though. People that have not heard you will figure that out really soon. People that have not heard me, I think you'll figure out really soon that I'm just about as easy to get along with as anybody else is. Just don't piss me off. And you'll figure out those ways as the show goes along.
And
it takes a lot to piss me off.
And
you maybe not so much. You maybe not so much. That's that little bit of New Yorker that comes out in you.
There is a rumor in the Twitter sphere that says I might have anger issues. It's just a rumor. It's a rumor.
Nah.
I will not.
It's not real.
I will not confirm nor deny said rumor. But it's been known that maybe occasionally I might get a little riled up, and maybe the Brooklyn comes out, and maybe I just kind of go on one of those rants. It supposedly it's happened before. Again, I cannot confirm or deny. You're just going to have to listen and figure that out for yourself.
Yeah. I would just say passion, right? I would say it's passionate. That's what I miss most about being on at night and having, a show that I could own, is that the passion naturally comes out. It's hard to do it, in other slots when you slide in, you're filling in for other people. But, if you've listened to me before, if you listened to Patrick before, I would just say that we are two people that are extremely passionate about Houston sports, but really sports in general.
There are things I can promise you about this show. Number one, we're probably going to give you different angles, different slants, and a little different point of view on things that you've heard all day long. Sean and I have a tendency to look at things a little bit differently than everybody else does. You're going to get some different angles and different ideas from this show. We will never lack for energy, and I absolutely promise you so much smack is going to get talked on this show. So much smack is going to get talked on this show. And also, I will also say this. This is me, right? I don't do fake radio. I am not going to put out some kind of take or some kind of narrative or some kind of horse bleep that I don't believe in, or just throw it out there as engagement farming, or
but it could be horse bleep. You just happen to believe it.
Yeah, so that's the well. Listen, it's all in your point of view. If I believe it, it's not horse bleep to me. Okay, but The idea being, I will not deliberately say things I don't believe in just to try to rile you up. If I'm riling you up, it's because, well, we just see things differently, and that's okay. If I will say this, I've always said this, whatever questions that you ask, if you call us on the 713 and the 572 and the 4610, if you use those digits and you call up and you ask us things, I promise whatever you ask, I will answer honestly. I won't hold back. I will tell you.
That's true.
I will tell you the legit truth.
Yep.
We're all about
Whether you like
that.
it or not.
All right? The truth is coming. And it's coming on this show every single night. Whether you like it or you don't like it, you're going to get it.
Love it.
So strap in, because this call only does 100.
That's what you meant by the truth is coming. It's here, baby. It is absolutely here. Let's get it started, man. 713-572-4610. That's how you get involved in the show. Call. You can text. You can hit us on Twitch. PC, you know what Twitch is now? You can watch us on Twitch. Chris Santiago, he's the gatekeeper. You got to get through him to get to us, and he's ready to talk to you. So we've got a lot to get to this evening. Championship weekend. We have a Super Bowl. Is it the one you thought you were going to get at the end of the day? I think for a lot of people, yeah. The answer is a resounding yes. I don't know if you put any money on this. I did not, but I felt a lot of people's pain. And we've got to talk about championship weekend, the Super Bowl matchup that we have before us. If you don't know, Sports Radio 610 is going to the Super Bowl. They'll be in Vegas, all three shows, Payne and Pendergast, In the Loop, and The Drive, all going to be at the Super Bowl, broadcasting live, giving you the biggest and best content from the day, every single day, for an entire week leading up to the big game, while you and I are here holding down at Area 45 for the big dogs. And we'll have a chance to chop it up with the masses at night, every night, 7 to 10. So look forward to that.
So you and I don't have to deal with every, rando former player hawking their wares, trying to get an interview. Like, hey, man, can I come on and talk about my CBDs? Hey, man, can I come on and talk about my water bottles?
Yep.
Hey, we don't have to deal with any of that. Those guys, look, they're going to have people who are going to parse that so that they don't have to deal with those kind of interviews. They're pretty much only going to deal with the good stuff.
Guaranteed.
Although I will
Parker's
say,
the gatekeeper on that one.
I will say that while, doing Radio Row can be a lot of fun, I'm not upset that we're not going. I'm not upset about that at all. I am very happy to stay here, eat my Tex-Mex. That's right, eat my Tex-Mex.
There you go.
Good luck getting that in Vegas. All right, eat my Tex-Mex, watch the game on my TV, listen to the guys do their work all day long, and then you and I get to come on and talk mad trash afterwards.
I ain't going to miss it.
That is what's up.
I've never been, and I'm not going to miss it. I don't care. I'm glad the guys are getting to go to represent the station, but, yeah, we're going to have the best seat in the house right here, Area 45, and get to watch the game with you. And you get to talk to us. Chop it up. Let's do it next. 713-572-4610. Be a part of the show. Call, text. Hit us up on Twitter at PCreighton1, at Sean Bajani for myself. It is Area 45. The truth is here, and it's next. It's Sports Radio 610.
In the Loop.
This team has $34 million more than they had in 2022. Why are we I don't want to spend that money?
Because the pool of free agents that want to be here is such to where you don't have to overpay guys. Guys want to be here.
You're at the big boys table now. There's never been a better time to address big free agents.
Your lunch break is better with Landry and John. 10 to 2 every day on Sports Radio 610.
What's up, y'all? Clint Stoerner here for Lewis Flory over at Ability Tree Experts. If you got big, beautiful, valuable trees on your property, I need you to listen up one time, man. This Texas weather has been absolutely wild lately. Right now, we're dealing with the aftermath of the heat and drought that we just experienced. And Lewis Flory, he's traveling all over the city of Houston, and he's seeing valuable trees all over the place that are dry, defoliating, scorched, distressed. The list goes on and on. You might ask, what does that mean? Well, if your trees are turning brown and losing leaves, right now you need to call Ability Tree Experts. Think about what your trees have been through over the past few years, man. I'm talking a couple of nasty freezes, record heat, and now a drought. Let's make it simple. Your big, valuable trees have been through hell. It's time to address any and all damage that may have occurred. It's time to take action to make sure your trees have the best chance to survive. Lewis Flory, Ability Tree Experts. They have the best product on the market. They have 45-plus years in the tree care business right here in and around Houston. Give them a call today, 281-441-4179. That's 281-441-4179, or check them out online at abilitytrees.com. Lewis Flory, Ability Tree Experts, Houston's leading tree care professional. You're losing your hair, and you need a simple solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology with top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need Advanced Hair. They've completely redefined hair restoration, from the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, address them all with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment in a calm, relaxed environment with the most experienced professionals. Advanced Hair has performed tens of thousands of these breakthrough treatments. And get this, your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day. No one can offer anything like the advanced FUE found at Advanced Hair, and I highly recommend their team. It starts with your free consultation. Call 832-688-HAIR, 832-688-HAIR. If you qualify, you'll also get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that's redefined hair restoration. 832-688-HAIR, or check them out online at advancedhair.com.
Mattress Mac Gallery Furniture. Every day I get frantic calls from customers. Their loved one is coming home from the hospital. They ordered an adjustable bed from another furniture store or mattress store, and it's been back ordered. They call Gallery Furniture. We deliver that adjustable bed in an hour. Do yourself a favor. Do your homework. Look at the reviews. Gallery Furniture has 36,000 plus 4.9-star Google reviews. Gallery Furniture is here for you to deliver your furniture free to your home today.
It's a new year and time for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT, cybersecurity, and AI. Already in IT, build cybersecurity skills and prep for thousands of open positions nationwide that employers are desperate to fill. At My Computer Career, you could become job ready in just a few months. Make this your year. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. That's mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill.
Show your love this Valentine's with exquisite fashion jewelry from Diamonds Direct and save an extra 20%. Now through Valentine's, all fashion favorites at Diamonds Direct are on sale. All earrings, all bracelets, all necklaces, stackable bands, colored gemstone jewelry, and more. Lots of romantic and timeless gifts for under $500. Special financing available too. Don't miss this. An extra 20% savings on all fashion jewelry favorites at Diamonds Direct. Shop in store or online at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Can I get a weight reading on the cat in exam 3?
Zuri needs a new vet tech after their current one literally moved to a farm.
Snap-to-tail checkup is waiting.
But finding an ideal replacement takes some training.
This is like herding cats.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Schedule virtual interviews and talk to candidates right from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 15% when you buy 4 or more Purdy paint products. And there's more. Save 10% when you buy 68 or more panels of select OSB sheathing. Visit us in-store or online for low prices on the materials you need. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location, while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details.
Sports Radio 610 presents Area 45 with Bijani and Creighton.
Here we go. Sean Bijani and Patrick Creighton. It is Area 45 on your airwaves, Sports Radio 610. We're with you until 10 o'clock. If you want to be a part of the show, hit us up, 713-572-4610. You can call or text. Hit us up on Twitter, at PCreighton1, at Sean Bijani. If you'd like to be a part of the show, Chris Santiago, our producer, will hook you up and feed you through. We've got a Super Bowl on our hands, Patrick, and Chiefs beating the Ravens the way that they did. I don't know that you saw that one coming. I was looking at a lot of the preposterous predictions before that game. Who was it? Steve Mariucci. Did you happen to see his? He was predicting that like Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes were going to go like both 400-plus yards on the game, like completely obliterate the over-under, the lines, all of the numbers. It didn't work out that way at all, man.
Well, you see, what had happened was, I was thinking, but, you know what? Let's just go to break.
That's pretty much what he should have done and what a lot of people should have done. Like, sit back and watch this thing unfold. It unfolded like I didn't anticipate it at all. Lamar Jackson, how the hell? Tell me if you guys were thinking this. How the hell did he beat the Texans a week ago? How did that happen?
Well,
how did that happen? How did he do what he did against D'Amico Ryans? How did that defense do what they did against CJ Stroud and Bobby Slowick? I can see that a little bit more just because the offensive line, the ugliness of it, it was going to rear its ugly head again, and it kind of had been in recent weeks. But defensively, that's what just kind of took me back. I don't know how the hell that happened.
There are a couple of things about this game that as I'm watching the Ravens play the Chiefs, and I'm thinking back to the Texans game, and I'm like, wow. Lamar Jackson's getting to see what it was like to be CJ Stroud a week ago.
Right.
What, protection? Right. What the hell is that? The Chiefs were all over the backfield. I don't know what happened to the Ravens' offensive line from last week to this week, but apparently they were reading some press clippings. They were, forgetting that there was a game. They got overrun by the Kansas City Chiefs defensive front. And Lamar was under pressure all day long. And you know what? Mark Andrews looked like a dude who hadn't played football in a few months.
Yeah.
And Zay Flowers, who's been their best receiver all year long. Apparently drank the stupid juice because maybe he touched the Monstars football. I don't know what it was, but all of a sudden, all the brains he had went right out the booty, and he was just doing dumb things. Then there was this. Remember how a lot was talking about the Texans and how much better their run defense was. And look, their run defense was a lot better.
Yeah.
But the Ravens kind of ran the ball all over them. And part of that was Lamar Jackson being the threat that he is. But they ran the ball frequently. They ran the ball at will. They ran the ball all over the Houston Texans. The Kansas City Chiefs entered the day, 28th in run defense? The Ravens decided, run. I'm sorry, what? Run? No, we don't have any run plays.
Right.
Listen to this insanity. Including the postseason, there have been 568 NFL games played so far this year. The Ravens' designed run rate on Sunday with Lamar Jackson and their three-headed monster in the backfield, where they just trampled the Texans a week ago, ranked 563rd.
Jeez.
It was the sixth lowest design run rate in the NFL this year, including the postseason. What the bleep were they doing?
Well, that's crazy. Well, they stayed true to it because they didn't design any. Was it Lamar Jackson designed runs for him like two, maybe three designed runs?
You have the most dangerous running quarterback in NFL history.
Yeah.
Now let's let him sit in the pocket and get his ass kicked. Sounds like a great idea, man.
Yeah. It was ridiculous. I looked at these numbers and I couldn't believe it. And just you play it over and over and over again. Just that game a week ago, this same Ravens team, some way somehow doing what they did to the Texans to the tune of 34-10. Since scoring on their second offensive possession of the game, the Ravens went fumble, 4 straight punts, fumble, interception, field goal. The rest of the way. Kansas City, some way, somehow, offensively in the second half, was held to just 30 offensive plays. The Ravens were doing the job that they needed to defensively and could not and refused, as you're saying, to run the ball, but just could not get anything going. Why would they want Lamar Jackson just standing back there and dropping back and throwing passes? And he had some dudes that dropped some balls. I think Flowers was one. There was another one that was dropped critical time in the fourth quarter. I can't remember who did it. But then two. Here's the thing, and I was actually wary of this. You think back to week one, and in the way that the Ravens played against the Texans last weekend, completely different in terms of discipline and not making stupid decisions, not making the stupid penalties. They had 8 penalties that were absolutely killer for them yesterday. 8 penalties and nearly cost them 100 yards. They'd been doing that on the regular all season. Maybe we should have seen something like that coming. It reared its ugly head at least yesterday in the worst possible time.
And they were idiot penalties, right? Like, hey, you know what? Here's a defensive lineman punching Mahomes in the face after he's throwing the ball. Idiot. Of course you're getting flagged. If your hand goes up on the quarterback's head, the official's right there. They're calling that every freaking time.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, at the time, it looked way worse in slow motion. But at the time, I was like, he's trying to go for the ball. He's trying to knock the ball out. But you're right. It's those that you just can't have happen.
You know, JD banged helmets with Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
Listen, JD, you've been in the league long enough. You know, if you head-to-head on a quarterback, laundry coming out on the field.
Yeah.
You've been around long enough. If I said to you before the game, Kansas City, Baltimore, which team is going to have something close to a 50-50 ratio run-pass, and which team is going to be like 2-1 passing over rushing, you would say the team that's going to be 2-1 passing would be
2-1 passing? Is it going to be Kansas City?
It's going to be Kansas City.
Of course.
Right. Okay.
So, not the Ravens.
Kansas City threw 39 passes, 32 runs.
Balance, man.
Baltimore threw 37 passes and ran the ball 16 times.
Yeah, I didn't even remember it was that high.
And 16 times they averaged 5 yards a carry.
Mm-hmm.
And Lamar had 8 of the 16 carries.
Yeah, and he had 54 yards, I think, on the ground.
6 of those were scrambles.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, what was Todd Monken doing? And you know what?
Trying to lose his job.
At some point.
That's not going to happen, but he's trying to lose his job, apparently.
At some point, if you're Lamar Jackson, at some point, if you're John Harbaugh, do you go to your offensive coordinator, and McFly, run the damn ball. Maybe you smack a little sense into him. Maybe you ask him, what the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah.
No, it's cool. Just keep throwing these. And they're not getting open at all. And when they are, they're dropping passes. And then Zay Flowers gets stripped on the freaking goal line. I mean, what a play by L'Jarius Sneed. I mean, he was about a play of the year coming from across the field, punches the ball out at the freaking 1.
4 plays after Zay Flowers stands over the top of him. First shoves him to the ground and then stands over the top of him.
Earned him a flag, by the way.
Yeah, it took him from the 9 back to the 25. They end up getting to the 9 at the end, and then before the fumble happened. And it was, I cannot tell you that Sneed keeping his cool in that moment. I think after the game, he'd basically said, like, I didn't even really see it, kind of a thing. Man, that's what you need. That's the kind of head that you've got to play with if you're Zay Flowers. And I don't know why I expected it. I mean, I was a Ravens fan going into that game. And I thought a lot of people here should have been Ravens fans for a lot of different reasons, but none more than that was the team that beat yours. That was a team that kicked the Texans in the nuts. And they had an opportunity to host a game where Kansas City was maybe at its most vulnerable since they'd been on this run with Patrick Mahomes as their quarterback since the 2019 season. And they crapped all over themselves. They let go. They refused to really be what they had been all season long, the team that was going to step on your throat. And in fact, I mean, they were shooting themselves in the foot. They looked like the Texans at times in that game against the Chiefs with the stupid penalties and just getting way too overzealous in critical moments. That cost them. That absolutely cost them that football game yesterday.
There were a lot of just like times where you're just scratching your head going, what is going on? Like I said, this is the weakest offense Kansas City has had in the Pat Mahomes era. Right? Their worst offense. They have Travis Kelce. It took them half the year to figure out what Rice was going to be. MVS is good for a drop every day. I mean, Kadarius Toney's inactive. He's on social media saying he's not hurt. Dude, of course you're hurt. You got a hand injury. You can't close it around the football. That's why you're freaking inactive. You're a receiver, and you can't close your hands around a damn football. Yeah. But you think their receivers have been awful. They've lost at least, 3 primetime games this year where Mahomes is drilling guys and the ball's going through their hands. The one that hit MVS in the face because it went through his hands. Or they've lost so many games because their receivers couldn't catch cold.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. And you had them right where you needed them, where everybody would have liked to have had them, on the road in a playoff game, in your environment, playing the ball that you've been playing, and they couldn't take advantage of the Ravens, man. We got to get to the Lions and Niners game, which we will. We'll take a trip around the NFL coming up next. A former Texan quarterback in the news, and what's going on around the league with the coaching carousel, how Gerard Johnson, Bobby Slowick are still factoring into teams' positions. They're dwindling, but it still makes me nervous. We'll get to that and more next. At Sports Radio 610, you're listening to Area 45.
Payne and Pendergast.
If you lose both of those guys, you lose both your quarterback coach and your offensive coordinator, then that's when I'd start getting nervous, because it's not as simple as just finding somebody who is of like mind. You got to find 2 competent people.
Yeah.
That's obviously a lot harder to do.
I feel confident that there's a good backup solution. I'd just rather not have to deploy it.
Wake up with Sean and Seth, 6 to 10 every morning on Sports Radio 610.
At Air Specialist, we believe a good name is earned, not given. With every AC repair, we dedicate ourselves to the craftsmanship and precision that you would expect from a specialist. And now we're proud to offer the same attention to detail on plumbing, repipes, water heaters, drains, and more. Being a specialist is not just our name, it's our brand. Air Specialist Plumbing and AC. Excellent quality at a fair price.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sean Pendergast from my friends at the Men's Tea Clinic, where they have a long menu of treatments for male wellness that are going to help you with any issues that you're having. Issues in the bedroom. They've got the Gains Wave that helps out with ED. PRP to help out with ED as well. Of course, testosterone replacement therapy, which is why I go to the Men's Tea Clinic every Friday. They've got something for you if you need your quality of life back. Get to the nearest Men's Tea Clinic right now. There's 5 locations in Houston. Find the one nearest you at mensteaclinic.com. Hey, it's Sean Pendergast, my friends at Soda Weight Loss. You guys know my story, and if you don't, here it is. Back in June of 2020, my quality of life took a huge turn for the better when I went to SodaWeightLoss.com and started in on the Soda Weight Loss plan. I was heavy. I hated looking at the scale. The certified nutritionist at Soda Weight Loss keeping me accountable with a plan to eat better was all I needed. That was the catalyst for me to drop nearly 50 pounds of fat weight, and I've kept it off through 4 holiday seasons now, all thanks to the plan from Soda Weight Loss. And that can be you. 2024, it's a new year. Time for a new you. This is a great time to reset and recalibrate. And the folks at Soda Weight Loss, they want to help you with that. They absolutely do. Weekly weigh-ins all over the phone, so it's very, very convenient. Go to SodaWeightLoss.com right now, and you can take it from me or the thousands and thousands of Google reviews that they have at SodaWeightLoss.com. Click that Soda at Home tab in the upper left-hand corner, That's the beginning right there. SodaWeightLoss.com. Soda is what? State of the art.
Nothing says I love you like romantic, timeless jewelry. Even better when you can save an extra 20%. Right now at Diamonds Direct, all fashion favorite jewelry is 20% off. That's earrings, bracelets, pendants, bands, colored gemstone jewelry. Get 20% off Diamonds Direct's already unbeatable prices. Special financing too. Get her something she can enjoy and appreciate for years to come. A fashion favorite from Diamonds Direct. Shop in-store or online at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Getting your biggest tax refund from Jackson Hewitt can lead to some spirited reactions.
Jackson Hewitt!
Jackson Hewitt is so sure that you'll get your biggest refund that if they don't, you get your money back plus $100.
Jackson Hewitt!
And Jackson Hewitt also guarantees the accuracy of your return for life. So don't just sit there. For your biggest refund guaranteed, walk into a Jackson Hewitt today and dance out Jackson Hewitt! Yeah!
If you're looking for a new couch, you could cut down on expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive. Because you know you've had this couch for too long. Sure, you've had good times together, but a ripped-up cushion is not a fond memory. It's a sign. Notice how other people have couches with 2 armrests? Now that's living, right? No, it's just normal. So bundle your renters and car insurance with Progressive and put the savings toward a new couch. Please, it's time. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's BABBEL.com.
Live from the Twin Peaks studios, Sports Radio 610 presents Area 45 with Bishani and Creighton.
Area 45 back with you at Sports Radio 610 alongside Patrick Creighton. Back in the saddle again. I'm Sean Bajani. Chris Santiago producing. Glad to be a part of your evening. 713-572-4610. 572-4610. If you want to be a part of the show, you can call or text. And if you'd like to watch, you can do that too now, all day long on every single show. Just find us on Twitch. It's at 610 Houston. So 610 Houston on Twitch, and you can dial us up and watch that way. This was
Get us on YouTube. You can get us on YouTube, too.
Absolutely. I forgot.
Just you go to YouTube and then just put in Sports Radio 610. There we are, live and in living color.
There you go. You got us dialed up?
A couple of hot chicks sitting behind us.
Yeah. Yeah. You can look at those. Maybe not our mugs, but that's probably why we got the chicks behind us, right?
Hey, you know what? There's a little less of me this time around, so.
A lot less of you. A lot less of you, man. You're looking good these days, my man.
Dude, it is a freaking grind.
Yeah?
You know, when all those things, like, I know you hear like soda weight loss, and you hear Sean Pendergast and Ron Hughley talk about, you know, all the weight that they've lost on soda weight loss.
Yeah.
I've been doing it the old-fashioned way. It's freaking hard. It is difficult as hell. But 60 pounds later,
hey,
still pushing.
You got to keep grinding, baby.
Still working. There's a lot less of me than there used to be. You know what? My back doesn't always hurt so bad anymore because I'm not carrying around that extra 2 bags of dog food.
Yeah.
And that's fun because that's the first thing. One of my buddies who's a big-time high school science teacher, like in New York City. He teaches all these like high-end, like super brilliant kids. They do all these events all over the country, national events. His name's Tom San Giorgio. This guy is brilliant. And like I'm talking to him one day, and he's just like, dude, think about this. Because I was saying, you know, I've lost 50 pounds. I don't feel like I don't look different. He says, go grab 2 bags of dog food, walk around the store twice. Tell me how you feel.
And?
Well, I got around the store once. I'm like, all right, screw this.
I was going to say, that's not like, I wouldn't enjoy that.
That does not sound like fun.
That's when you realize.
That would suck for anybody at any size.
Maybe I should have done this in a Kroger and not a Target, because the Target's like twice as big as a damn Kroger.
Target or Costco or Sam's, like that would have been a poor decision.
It's like, why did I do this? Why didn't I just agree with him? Why didn't I concur? I should have concurred.
I'll tell you this, man. You've been getting it. I know this. You and I talk all the time, but I've got almost a 4-year-old now. My boy's going to be 4 in April.
Dude, it's such a great age. Enjoy that. Enjoy that.
I know, dude. And
this is the part
so
where
mad.
Sean reminds me that he's like 15 years younger than I am.
Nah, it's not that much. I'm 41, dude.
All right, so it's not 10 years.
It's not 15.
It's not 15, it's 10.
It's not 15. So that make you feel a little bit better, but
slightly.
I think about this all the time. Like, since my boy had been born, I love working out. I love being active. I love doing stuff. And especially now more with him, I take him out in the front yard. We're going from golf balls to football inside to basketball to baseball literally every day. It's insane. Like, people that are looking at me, like my neighbors, are thinking I'm running like a factory over here with this kid. Like, and I'm forcing him against his will. It's like, no, he wants to play every sport at all moments. But I don't get a chance for any time for myself. Like, and so you are probably feeling a hell of a lot better physically than I am these days. 'Cause I don't eat the same. I don't work out the same. I mean, what's workout? Like, maybe if I get some push-ups, sit-ups, or squats in, which I'm trying to train him to do in the morning, okay? Because I want to do it. So if he watches me do it, then maybe I get like a little 10-minute workout in. So I've tried that the last couple of weeks.
So you're doing some 12-ounce curls and some thumb-ups?
A lot of 12-ounce curls. Thumb-ups.
Thumb-ups are when you take the stopwatch out or you use on your phone, you get the little stopwatch on your phone, and you tell your kid, all right, listen, we're going to see how fast you can run to first base. Ready? Go, bang. Bang. Those are thumb-ups.
I did that the
thumb
other
goes
day.
up, thumb goes down. Thumb-ups.
I timed him in a 40, but my thumb up, from the time that it went up to back down, was like 11 seconds. He's only 4. It took him a while.
So for me, my son's a sophomore in college. And if you remember when I first started here, my son was 7. And I have a picture of him standing next to Booker T.
Yeah,
like
oh my God.
barely comes up to his waist.
Yeah,
you know,
that's a great pick.
And now he's a sophomore in college. My daughter's a junior in high school. She still probably comes up to Book's waist because she's only like 4'11".
Yeah,
but just I see that picture of him.
Oh, it's
from way back when, and then I look at him now and I'm like, hey, remember how small you used to be? And he's like, oh my God, I was so little.
Dude, I remember going out to eat, having lunch, because I used to buy
Girl Scout
cookies.
Still sell them, by the way.
Yeah, well.
Anybody out there in the sound of my voice,
I might need them.
If you need your Girl Scout cookies, I'm your dealer. hookup.
Thin Mints, you know where to find me. Thin Mints. When you get those in your possession, when is Girl Scout cookie season?
Well, it depends on where you are. Different parts of the country start at different times. So my niece, who's in Connecticut, they've been selling for 3 weeks.
Okay.
But us being down here, my daughter doesn't get her batch of cookies for another couple of weeks.
Okay, so it's like springtime around here. Okay, yeah. So hit me up with some Thin Mints here.
I'll let you as soon as the batches come in. I'll let you know. But if you need your Girl Scout crack, I am your dealer.
I do. You know, I feel like
I need them for sure.
What's your favorite one, Chris?
I like the Thin Mints, and then I like the peanut butter chocolate.
Oh, yeah.
What we used to call tag-alongs. Down here, they're called peanut butter patties.
Yeah, those, yeah.
Is that the all chocolate ones with peanut butter in the middle?
Yeah, it's the peanut butter with the chocolate over the top.
Those are so good.
Those are those and what I used to call Samoas. That's the caramel delights down here, but up in other parts of the country, they're called Samoas. That's the chocolate, caramel, and coconut. Those are my favorites.
Yeah.
Those are my absolute favorites.
Coconut, I'm in. I mean, let's be honest. I'll eat any Girl Scout cookie there is, probably, unless it's like they have like the shortbread ones, which are kind of like.
Dude, I even eat the shortbreads.
Yeah, but that's like desperation. That is the desperation cookie. That is almost like now the equivalent. Somebody gave me a whole tin of like shortbread cookies for Christmas. That's the equivalent of like what a fruitcake was back in like the 70s and the 80s.
But did it come in the big Danish tin with like Santa Claus all around it?
Yes.
Okay, so you keep the tin, and if you don't want the cookies, what you do is you put them in a Ziploc bag, and you bring them into the kitchen. You drop them off in the kitchen here, and miraculously, the creatures, all the freaks that come out at night, okay, they will get eaten.
They'll be gone. Yeah.
We work in radio. There are enough poor people, and I'm not saying I'm not part of that group. There are enough poor people that if free food is left out, you only got to give it about 4 minutes, and it'd be gone.
Well, I gave it about 2 days, and they were still gone in my house because, again, funds are a little tight. I got a little hungry. That's a nighttime snack. Even those chunks of sugar on those damn shortbreads, like those big...
Oh, those are the Danish shortbreads that got the sugar all over them.
I chipped my teeth eating those things. Like, I couldn't stand them, but they got the job done.
The sugar speck is like a half an inch wide.
You get tired eating, like, peanut butter sandwiches all day. They look pretty good eventually. I'll tell you this, man. As I'm thinking about this, I'm going to keep reminding you about the Girl Scout cookies, by the way. Did you see TJ Yates? How many of you guys knew that this dude still had a job in the NFL? Or still had a job in the NFL?
Wait, he's alive?
He's alive. Alive
Are we
and well,
sure it's
apparently.
really TJ Yates, or is it a doppelganger?
It said TJ Yates, and apparently he's been with the Atlanta Falcons.
Is it an alien in a TJ Yates suit?
No, it's TJ, the Texans legend. First playoff victory ever under TJ Yates' watch, right?
As long as you can play Marvin Lewis, baby.
Go ahead. Yeah, as long as you can. And hell, this rate, I saw Leslie Frazier's in line for a job as the DC with the Miami Dolphins earlier today. I think he's getting an interview with him. I thought that dude was going to hang him up as soon as he got picked over from David Culley here a few years ago. Like, when you lose a job to David Culley, you should probably hang it up. And apparently the Dolphins are going to consider him for the DC. But TJ Yates is, according to NFL Network's James Palmer, getting a promotion to the quarterback coach from the receiver coach. He was the receiver coach for the Falcons this year. And now he's going to be their quarterback coach under new head coach Raheem Morris, and Zach Robinson's their OC over there. I was just like, wow, TJ Yates sighting. How about that?
Yeah, the only problem is he might be the best quarterback on the roster.
Yeah. He's not that old either, right?
I mean, that's like the
if
biggest
Joe
problem.
Flacco can come out of retirement from the couch, right? And from an NFL Network gig, he was that close. Like TJ Yates in a pinch.
Isn't that the biggest problem the Falcons had all year? They got all these skill position guys, and they can block, but their quarterback is just, oh boy.
Well, unless they play the Texans. I mean, Desmond Ridder looked unstoppable in the fourth quarter.
It always happens like the Texans. Bryce Young was terrible this year, except against the Texans. Desmond Ridder, he is trash, except against the Texans. But I think...
You're forgetting one.
I'm trying to forget that. There's a reason why.
You don't want to remember that one?
We're just
Zach Wilson, anybody?
That did not happen. That is a figment of your imagination. That is a fabrication, a misrepresentation, an outright lie.
If Zach Wilson was a high school quarterback, right, which he probably should go back and see if he has any eligibility, but on his huddle tape, that you would see, all of his highlights would be against the Texans. Yeah.
The only time Zach Wilson scored more on the field than with random MILF was against the Houston Texans, but that will not happen again. That won't happen again. Look, they had rookie head coach, rookie quarterback, rookie OC. Essentially, everybody's kind of new at their position. It's okay.
Yeah.
We knew those kind of things were going to happen. They were going to lose games they should have won. They also won games they weren't expected to win. They were everything in a rebuilding team you expected, except, oh, by the way, they won 11 frickin' games.
Yeah.
All of you people who told me that they were only going to win 3 games or 4 games. All of you people who talked all that trash about how they gave up a top 3 pick in this year's draft to go get Will Anderson. All of you people, and one particular media person in specific, who said that it was the worst day in the history of the Texans franchise when they traded up to get Will Anderson, y'all can kiss my big white ass.
Woo!
Every single freaking one of you losers, you soft-ass, lily-livered biatches. You can all line up. I got a whole bag for you to eat. You can kiss my ass.
Patrick Creighton, everybody.
Every time I get to wave that I'm right flag, I'm going to wave it under your damn nose because you freaking deserve it, you non-believers, you infidels, you Jezebels, you Satanists, you communists who don't believe when I tell you, you gonna learn today.
It's not even the non-believers. It's the people that will sell to you every single day that they know and understand football, and what we think we're looking at isn't so. How people thought this team the Texans were going to win 3 or 4 ball games again this year is beyond me. That would have been gross negligence, malpractice. It absolutely could not happen and had no chance of ever taking place unless like unforeseen circumstances. Like you had to start Case Keenum or Davis Mills like 14 of the 17 ball games this season. Thank God it was only for 2. But there was just no way that was going to happen.
So when people believe what they want to believe, right? We got flat earthers.
Hear what they want to hear.
We got people who think 9/11 was an inside job. I lived through that, so all of you people can get shot straight into the sun. All right, there were people who believed, Alex Jones, that a school shooting that killed a whole bunch of little kids in Connecticut was a hoax. People believe what they want to believe. People wanted to believe the Texans were going to be lousy. They wanted to believe CJ Stroud was going to be awful. It didn't matter that the tape said this is the most polished quarterback in the draft. It didn't matter that the tape said this guy can hit every throw, all 3 levels, every part of the field with accuracy, with velocity, with touch. None of it mattered. They all wanted to believe he was going to be, went to Ohio State, got to be a bum. Didn't play in the SEC, got to be a bum. Oh, S2 score sucked, got to be a bum. It didn't matter that way back when, before the season started, right, like before the draft even happened, all those at the combine, those scores getting leaked out, and the guy who owns the damn company said way back then, those scores. That some of those scores that got leaked, they're not accurate. They're not representative scores. And even though he wouldn't say CJ Stroud by name, it became very apparent he was talking about CJ Stroud. The dates, the time, the guy getting in late, not wanting to take the test because it was late. He was exhausted. It was very late at night. Like, no, we're not doing it. They made him take it. And he basically was just like, screw it. C, right? And he said, we know that it's not representative. Do not believe all this stuff. Nobody cared. Everybody was too busy going, oh, man, that's 2 score. He's a dummy. He's going to fail. Because that was what, crap sells. It's more fun. It's easy. It's lazy hot take radio, TV, social media to just go, oh, he's a dummy. He flunked this test. He's going to fail. What an idiot. Oh, look at these low scores. He's so stupid. Why actually do the work, do the research? Find out the real information. Do, I don't know, friggin' journalism. I don't know. Why actually do your damn job? Because that's not fun. That's not sexy. That doesn't get clicks on social media. And as we all know, your advertisers, they don't care if what you say is brilliant or is moronic. All they care about is click, 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 click. So if you get up there and you go, I'm a little teapot, and it gets 5 million clicks, they don't care because they never saw it. All they saw was the report at the end of the day that said, oh, you got 5 million clicks for this. Here is your bag of money, sir. That's all it took. Yep. So all these guys, well, look, now they're just trying to do it to save their asses because the best rookie season by a quarterback ever just got done by a guy who supposedly had a bad S2 score. They told you before the draft. Y'all just didn't freaking listen because it wasn't convenient for your narrative because you wanted to believe CJ was going to fail. Screw all of you.
Convenient for the Texans and us. We get to enjoy it for the foreseeable future. That's all I care about. He's Patrick Creighton, Sean Bajani. It's Area 45 on Sports Radio 610. Coming up next, I want to know your 3 most important Astros to watch heading into spring training. 2 weeks, 2 days away from pitchers and catchers reporting. We'll get it next at Sports Radio 610.
Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen.
Your favorite hosts in Houston are headed to Vegas. Yingling Flight presents Sports Radio 610 live from Radio Row. Thanks to Low T Center, the entire week leading up to the big game. The best football conversation, interviews with the brightest stars in sports and pop culture, and all the fun that comes along with being in Sin City. Hope you're ready, H-Town.
Houston's sports leader. Sports Radio 610.
Welcome to Orange Theory Fitness, the total body group workout that can prove you're improving with our heart rate technology. First class free and memberships as low as $24 for your first month. Book online at orangetheory.com.
Imagine this. Hundreds of thousands of people running together all around the world at the same time. Welcome to the Wings for Life World Run, the world's largest running event, the running event for everyone, where 100% of all money raised goes to spinal cord research. Join the run on May 5th. Sign up now at wingsforlifeworldrun.com. Let's run for those who can't.
Just a black coffee, please. Whoa, who are you?
I'm Cupid. Wings didn't give it away, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Got some Valentine's advice for you.
Well, what is it, Cupid?
Well, since Valentine's Day is just a few days after the big game, get the pregame going at Hellsberg Diamonds. Make her heart flutter with diamond bands, pendants, huggy hoops, and more. Up to 50% off.
Man, great call, Cupid.
This ain't my first love rodeo, kid. Head to a Hellsberg store or hellsberg.com today.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-335-1274 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-335-1274. That's 800-335-1274. What do you have to lose? Call 800-335-1274. Again, 800-335-1274.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Attention taxpayers. If you or your business owe the IRS back taxes or have years of unfiled tax returns, the IRS has green-lighted billions of dollars in tax relief to those facing financial hardship through its tax relief initiatives. If you have a delinquent tax problem and possibly facing wage garnishment, liens, levies, audits, or already in a payment plan, you may now qualify for significant relief. Qualifying and enrolling in this program could stop all collections, settle your tax problem, and may even reduce what you owe by up to 99%. Call the hotline at Tax Help USA to see if you qualify by dialing 800-210-1005. If you or your business owe at least $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS or state, you can now get the help that you need during these hard economic times. Call Tax Help USA to get your free tax assessment to see what you qualify for by dialing 800-210-1005. 800-210-1005. 800-210-1005.
The price of new and used vehicles has increased significantly in the past 15 years. John Lopez here, and I know, you know, leasing for less from the industry leader makes more sense right now than ever. For more than 47 years, D&M has been the leader in low-cost leasing with payments up to 50% lower. All you have to do, call 713-290-1000. That's 713-290-1000. Or go to dmautoleasing.com and save today. No down payment, lower payments, and no payments for 60 days.
We make leasing easy at B&M.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing. Together millions of things for our planet. This year, resolve to use less gas. You can carpool to work a few days a week and walk any distance under a mile. When we each share our one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
KILT FM HD2 Houston. Insider access. Exclusive content. Sports Radio 610. The Texans play here. An Odyssey station.
Sports Radio 610 presents Area 45 with Bijani and Creighton.
Let's go. Let's get it popping. Hour number 2. We've got you till 10 o'clock. It's Area 45. I'm Sean Bajani. He's Patrick Creighton. Chris Santiago producing. Be a part of the show. 713-572-4610. 572-4610. Wherever you're at, we appreciate you listening, being a part of the show. You can text us as well. Hit us up on Twitter at PCreighton1, at Sean Bajani. Watch us on Twitch. You can just type in 610 Houston. You can type in Sports Radio 610 on YouTube and watch us that way as well. A lot of different ways to be a part of the program tonight. So baseball season, PC, this is yours and my
favorite season.
It's like Christmas, man. I mean, 2 weeks, 2 days, pitchers and catchers report coming up February 14th, first full workout, February 19th. It's almost here, and I feel like we just had it stripped from us by the Rangers in Game 7 of the ALCS. It didn't feel that long ago. Still feels kind of new. And we're going to be talking about a new season. I thought about this the other day. I was chopping it up with some dudes. The 3 most important Astros going into spring. They got a lot of questions. Like every baseball team seems to every single year. And as good as the Astros have been for the last 7-8 years, they have their questions. There's always key questions that we have about our ball club going in. But I feel like it's a little bit different this year, and everybody that I've talked to has not mentioned one name when I've asked them this question. And
is this going to be like the most obvious, this is the freaking number one person, and they just skip over him? It's going to be that type of thing?
I feel like it's obvious to me. I don't know if they're number one, but I think they're top 3.
All right, I got my list of 3. So
give me your list of 3, and I'll see if you get this guy.
All right, number 1 is Framber Valdez.
Okay, not
Framber
him.
Valdez is number 1. That guy was supposed to be your ace last year. And for some reason, early in the season, Framber was not getting any run support. Like, I remember early in the season, like his first 7 games, like 80% of the runs the Astros scored for Framber all came in one game against the Pittsburgh Pirates. So he did not get any run support early in the season. But then as the season goes on, all of a sudden, Framber's having these mental meltdowns where he doesn't get a call and he's just losing his bleep all over the place. Just throwing his, like, it was one game, he was like 5 pitches into the game. He doesn't get a call. He's throwing his arms up in the air. I'm like, once you do that, you're not getting another call the rest of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And oddly enough, he did not get another call the entire game. And as soon as he was out, all of a sudden the Astros started getting calls. You cannot be that mentally soft. You cannot be that fragile emotionally that you don't get a call and you absolutely freaking lose your nerve. And now you're heffing and humming and huffing and you're getting yourself psyched out and costing yourself pitches, at bats, runs, and wins.
Absolutely.
They need Framber to get back to being the guy who was Mr. Consistency, who set the record for most consecutive quality starts in a season. They need that Framber Valdez, not the guy who was emotionally immature for 5 months of last season.
I mean, you're 100% right, but I can't lie to you and say that I didn't see that kind of Framber coming last season because, and you're 100% right. Maybe we need to expand to a top 5 because I do agree with you, and he wasn't on my list, but you can't have that be the case as it was last year where he's such a loose cannon because you don't have Carlos Correa anymore. You know, that was like the calming influence, right? Or you can't have that because you don't have Martin Maldonado
to be that
anymore.
guy?
Right, but, you know, there was a Correa factor too, and I thought that was a huge thing. I mean, that was really when Carlos Correa, took another step in the leadership of this team where he had that moment out on the mound in the postseason where he just ripped Valdez and, basically told him like who he was, what you're capable of doing. And then Framber from that point on was just on a completely different level. We didn't have Correa there to do that and be that voice for him anymore, that calming influence or that kick in the pants, whatever it was. But you're right. Framber's got to figure that out because if he does, he's one of the most dangerous pitchers in Major League Baseball when he's healthy. I don't have to watch my tongue, bite my tongue when I say that. I believe that. If he's got it right between the ears, he's dangerous.
I thought the pitch clock was a negative impact on Framber because when he would get in his head.
Yes.
That's where, all right, I can take, Maldi can go take a mound visit. Go calm him down. Now that you've got limited mound visits and limited time between pitches, Molly didn't have the same opportunity to go out there and settle him down. And Fromber would just get in his head and would get worse and just keep digging that hole, digging that hole. And because he didn't have that, do you remember Mike Pelfrey? Who would lick his hands, just call him the human rain delay.
Yeah.
So Mike Pelfrey, after like every pitch that he didn't get, he'd walk around the mound, take his hat out, lick his hands, rub himself, get around, grab the rosin bag, throw it down. It'd be like, 60, 65 seconds.
No, you're right. He's like the Nomar Garcia Parra of pitchers. Yeah.
And now that 18 seconds, get your ass back on the mound.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a negative impact for Fromm because he just never got himself settled. The number one thing, Fromber's got to get his mind right.
You're right.
For this season.
You remember 2 years ago, he used to just kind of walk around the back of the mound, squat down, just take a breath, kind of reset, and then get back up there. You don't have the time for that. You don't have the time for that. I thought you're right. I mean, he wasn't the only one that was affected, but I thought a lot of pitchers throughout baseball, a lot of them on the Astros were, and he's probably number one. Who's your number two?
Number two is Christian Javier.
Yep.
Christian Javier went to the WBC last year. Remember, they told Fromber do not go to the WBC because they were concerned about his workload. Remember, they won the World Series the year before. Now you're ramping up a lot faster. There is a history of guys pitching in the WBC and then struggling that season because they ramp up too fast, they're throwing too hard, and then they get dead arm, their velocity drops, their command is off, and then there's injuries. Well, Christian Javier was pumping 95 miles an hour at the World Baseball Classic. And when we got to April, all of a sudden he's throwing 92.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a big, big difference when you are a guy like Javier who lives at the very top of the zone. When you throw 95 and when you throw 92, 95 is a swing and a miss, 92 is 400 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are off by a half a baseball at the top of the zone, big-time hitters are hammering you. And Javier, whose velocity was down all year long, and not just down, but the inconsistency of his velocity. He'd throw a pitch 94 and the next fastball 90. Like it was like watching Jose Urquidy because the fastball just all over the damn mat. And because he had such trouble, I mean, look, when he first came up, he was throwing 92, 93. He was a guy who pitched on guts and guile. He became like, this potential Cy Young guy over the last 2 years because he found a velocity bump 2 years ago where he started hitting 95.
Mm-hmm.
And he could hit 95 consistently. And he has a deceptive delivery. And the ball looks like it's rising because he's got this deceptive delivery, how he delivers the ball. But because he couldn't get the same velocity, and you're pumping your arm a little hard, you're trying to find it, trying to muscle it up. Now, all of a sudden, his delivery is off by just a bit. And now the ball doesn't look like it's rising. Now it looks like it's flat. And 95 rising and 92 flat, one of those is batting practice.
Yeah, for
and there were way too many games where it was batting practice. They need the Javier of 2022, not the Javier of last year. And if that means they got to take him easier, and look, he's still a guy you got to watch his workload. If that means they got to take him a little easier when pitchers and catchers report and build him up a little slowly, watch his arm, watch his innings, then that's what they got to do. But they need Christian Javier to refine that velocity and refine that command, be able to replicate the delivery that was so successful for him because 2022 Christian Javier is an elite pitcher.
Yep.
2023 Christian Javier is a fifth starter.
I think Christian comes back closer to the 22 version and probably in the best shape he'd ever been in his career. One of the things I hated last year, the narrative became, look, he got paid, showed up out of shape. People gloss over everything that you'd mentioned about the WBC and the drop in velocity and things like that, and they look at a guy who maybe looked a little overweight at times last year. Maybe that was the case. Maybe it wasn't. But I got to think that Javier comes back, and when he reports in a couple of weeks, probably going to be the best shape he'd ever been in his career. I would not be surprised. I mean, he's 26 years old, and you're pitching for a World Series contending baseball team, and you could legitimately be the number 2, number 3 guy on this staff at some point in time, maybe in the next year or two. Hell, maybe even this year. Who knows?
Well, he was not happy with his performance. I expect he is going to work his ass off to get back to being the guy that he was. Knowing the Astros and the way that they operate with all the analytics and the film. When Garrett Cole first got here, one of the first things that happened was, catchers tell him, it's like, hey, the guys want you in the film room. They want to go over what they think is, your best pitches and the pitches you don't need to throw. And he's like, how does the ball come out of your hand? How do you like it? How much velocity? How many RPMs are you getting? And he was just like, what?
Yeah.
Because they didn't do anything like that in Pittsburgh. And you saw Garrett Cole go from a guy who was a good pitcher to Garrett Cole go into Cy Young type pitcher, one of the best pitchers in baseball, because of how the Astros took his immense talent and refined it to be just off the charts amazing. Christian Javier was one of those guys. He had terrific talent. He maximized his stuff. The Astros were able to just tweak it just a little bit and take him from really good to like elite level. That's kind of where they need to get him.
Yeah. Excited about Josh Hader much in that regard? Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah. Javier was my number 1, by the way, just on my list. Who was your number 3?
My number, I have like a 3A and a 3B.
Okay.
All right, but the primary 3 is Jose Abreu.
Bam.
You saw Jose Abreu when he came into the season, had a back injury, he was hurt. He couldn't hit for a lick. He wasn't moving around well. Remember, they had an interview with Dusty where Dusty's talking about how he walks funny. And he's like, that's just how he is. And then he goes on the IL. He goes a couple of weeks off. He comes back, and all of a sudden, the power's back. The bat speed's back. He's hitting the ball to all fields. He's pulling the ball. He's hitting homers. All right. And you saw how the offense changed because you suddenly added the real Jose Abreu to that lineup and how big of an impact he had, because all of a sudden, oh, wow, his back doesn't freaking hurt anymore. Honestly, I was extremely disappointed. I suspected he was hurt all year. But, the Astros, they don't say boo about anybody until the guy's already dead. So I remember Chandler Rome had put out, Abreu's going on the 15-day DL. Yep. And literally a minute later, I'm like, we're going to find out he's been hurt all year. 8 minutes later, Chandler Rome, he's been dealing with this all year long. I was like, wow, didn't see that. That train is never freaking late when it comes to the Astros.
And it had to be the case. That had to be the case. It had to be something because Jose Abreu, for his career, is a notoriously slow starter. But he was hitting ridiculously career low numbers the first couple of months into the season.
His exit velos are way down.
But come on. And you know what? There might have even been a case to be made that he was hurt at the end of last season, 2 seasons ago.
Right. The last half of the year with Chicago, where he continued to hit for average, but the power just disappeared.
Yeah, the power disappeared. The exit velocity disappeared. The bat speed, it was suffering. Everything. And really, look, you could attribute some of it to age. You could do this with a lot of players that get up in around their mid-30s. The numbers for him the last couple of 3 seasons in Chicago had been dipping, okay? But something was clearly off with the Astros. I'm so glad you said that. You and I are going to get along great. Give me some love, man.
Dude.
I'm telling you, nobody's talking about Jose Abreu. It's all pitching. That's what people want to focus on because that's what kind of came up and bit the Astros in the ass last year.
Yeah, they ran out of pitching. They ran out of pitching. Let's call it what it is. It was one of the reasons why starting in the first week of May last year, when the Cardinals were just absolutely falling all over themselves, I was like, the number 1 target for the Astros should be go get Jordan Montgomery. He's durable. He's big market tested. He's playoff tested. He doesn't make a lot of money. The Cardinals are going to sell him. Go get him. And it pissed me off. The freaking ring, the junk grabbers got him, right? The damn junk grabbers went and got Jordan Montgomery. I freaking hated that. And then who's the guy who absolutely dominated in that series? Jordan Montgomery. The junk grabbers are having a little bit of issue because their RSN is a Bally station. And, Bally claims they're going to pay him, but maybe they are and maybe they aren't. They don't really know, and they're not entirely sure. And that's why the junk grabbers, who were supposed to be the favorites for Jordan Montgomery, and were supposed to be the favorites for Josh Hader. Oh, does that burn? Does that burn, Arlington? Does that burn? Okay? You go and you get Jordan Montgomery, okay? Now you have 3 absolute friggin' horses at the front of your rotation, and you just took one of the biggest horses out of the rotation in Arlington. It's a twofer. You're better, they're worse. Bleep you.
Yes,
all right, that is exactly the kind of move okay, F the tax. F the tax. I don't care what the payroll is. You know what? You can't pay this guy. You can't pay that. You can't pay the tax. The Astros have printed money for 7 years. Absolutely friggin' printed it. They've played more baseball games than anybody. They renamed the ALCS the Astros Invitational because they're always there. Okay, every single year. Don't tell me what the Astros can and can't afford. I know they can afford it. I've seen their annual revenues, which are records every damn year. Okay, they can absolutely afford it. When before you tell me, oh, well, the billionaire, he has to have some kind of salary certainty. Do we have ticket price certainty? Do we have parking rate certainty? Do we have concessions certainty, merchandising certainty? Do we even have certainty on our cable bills, on our satellite TV bills, on our internet bills for the RSN fees that go up every friggin' year? Yeah. No, my cost, your cost, they go up regardless of what the billionaire freaking spends. I am not in the habit of billionaire welfare, okay? They can afford it. Put the best team on the field, put the best product on the field. We'll all find a way to come up with the money, but don't you freaking dare keep jacking my prices up. Give me a lesser product with the, well, we don't want to spend that much. My ass! You get the best damn team on there, or I'm coming for you.
There you go. You know they're going to, though, PC. Let's see. Let's see what happens because, yeah, they've been printing money, but you know where it's been going. Into somebody else's pockets or to buy homes in River Oaks only to tear them down. That's kind of where I've seen it go. I'd like to see it go back into my baseball team, too. By the way, when we come back, I'll tell you who I had to finish my top 3, but we'll also get to hot leads, the day's top stories. We'll do it right here, Area 45 at Sports Radio 610 next.
In the Loop.
This team has $34 million more than they had in 2022. Why are we like, I don't want to spend that money?
Because the pool of free agents that want to be here is such to where you don't have to overpay guys. Guys want to be here.
You're at the big boys table now. There's never been a better time to address big free agents.
Your lunch break is better with Landry and John. 10 to 2 every day on Sports Radio 610.
Hey, it's Sean Pendergast from my friends at Soda Weight Loss. I dropped nearly 50 pounds of fat weight thanks to Soda Weight Loss back during the pandemic in 2020. Here I am still fitting into all the same clothes. I've kept the weight off. The biggest thing for me was the resources, the certified nutritionists at Soda Weight Loss, not only keeping you accountable, but they're right there for you to consult with when you're figuring out what foods are best to eat. Even when you're out at restaurants, don't just take it from me, take it from Steven.
I'm an incredibly picky eater, but it caused me to branch out. The other cool thing is, even if you do want to eat out, I can get on my phone, I can text Soda, and I can say, hey, what can I have? And they immediately send you a response. It's fast.
The certified nutritionists at Soda Weight Loss are the absolute best, keeping you accountable and making sure that you drop that weight and that you keep it off. They still check in with me monthly during maintenance just to make sure everything's going okay. Go to sodaweightloss.com, check out the thousands of Google reviews. You're going to feel great about your decision. Click that Soda at Home tab, and that's where it all starts. Soda is what? State of the art.
After years of discomfort, it's like I'm alive again.
Sonia Hackett talks about how QC Kinetics changed her life.
QC Kinetics has given me my quality of life back.
Before QC Kinetics, Sonia suffered from horrible knee and back pain stemming from a car accident.
I was wearing knee braces just to try to maneuver around.
Sonia hated the idea of pain meds, and surgery seemed too risky, so she turned to the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics, the leaders in advanced regenerative medicine.
That consultation just changed my life. I can do the treadmill, everything. I don't have anything holding me back. The quality of life is pain-free. QC Kinetics has made us very happy.
Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation today.
I'm going to get emotional again. They are like family members to me. They care.
Call QC Kinetics now.
Call QC Kinetics, 713-913-5285. That's 713-913-5285. 713-913-5285.
Selfless service is the guiding principle that drives Army National Guard soldiers to be always ready whenever disaster strikes. They are your next-door neighbors and your colleagues in schools, offices, and factories. To be a Guard soldier is to stand ready to serve at all times for family, for community, and for country. To learn more, log on to NationalGuard.com or contact an Army National Guard recruiter in your area.
Sponsored by the Texas Army National Guard. Aired by the Texas Association of Broadcasters and this station.
station.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-335-1274 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-335-1274. That's 800-335-1274. What do you have to lose? Call 800-335-1274. Again, 800-335-1274.
Look around. You can find cars like these on AutoTrader, like that car riding your tail. Or if you're tailgating right now, all those cars doubling as kitchens and living rooms are on AutoTrader too. Are you working out and listening to this ad at the same time? Well, multitasking pro, cars like the ones in the gym parking lot are for sale on AutoTrader. New cars, used cars, electric cars, maybe even flying cars. Okay, no flying cars, but as soon as they get invented, they'll be on AutoTrader. Just you wait. AutoTrader.
With your choice of select sandwich, nugs, fries, and a drink, Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag is your go-to. Your nugget wingman. Your hot and crispy fry co-pilot.
Just like us. We're like the bag boys.
What?
Bag boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when we bring your food?
For a deal you can count on, bet on Biggie and choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
Bag boys.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Includes choice of JVC or crispy chicken sandwich with 4-piece nugs, junior fry, and small soft drink. Third-party delivery pricing may be higher.
Live from the Twin Peaks studios, Sports Radio 610 presents Area 45 with Bishani and Creighton.
Area 45, back with you at Sports Radio 610. Sean Bajani, Patrick Creighton, good to be with you this evening. Chris Santiago, our producer. If you'd like to call, be a part of the show, 713-572-4610. He'll hook you up. You can also text 713-572-4610. Hit us up on Twitter at pcreighton1, the number 1, or at Sean Bajani on Twitter. You can watch us on Twitch and YouTube as well.
Yo, C-Dog, what's your Twitter?
Mine's Chris SS17.
So Chris Sex 17. All
Chris,
right.
Yeah,
X17. That is a very pornographic sports radio handle.
Chris hadn't had that since high school or anything.
No, yeah, I did make it in high school.
I know
actually.
you did.
Yeah.
Of course you did.
Well, we'll let you make a new one, bro. We'll let you make a new one.
I have to change my name.
Yeah, don't get a new account. Just change your handle.
C. Santiago.
What's your name? Chris Sex.
Chris Sex, yeah.
Awesome. That's it. Your new name is Sex.
You know,
he's going to call you Sex.
I'm pissed at Chris right now because I asked you twice, bro, before the show. I was like, what is your Twitter?
I don't use it a lot.
He didn't want to tell me. He didn't want to tell me, and that's why he didn't want to tell me. Patrick asked once on air, for crying out loud. So you put pressure on him, and he'll spit anything out.
Spit it out. Yep, there you go.
But damn it. All right. So yeah, well, fix your Twitter handle up, and we can pimp it out there, man.
Until then, your name is C-Sex.
Chris needs sex at
C-Sex.
I love it.
C-Sex run.
I love it. All right. Hey, this is a segment that we're going to do every single night. It's called Hot Leads, biggest stories of the day. Here they come.
These are the new leads.
Did our computer
Computers,
freeze?
I need the leads. These are the Glengarry leads.
2 lead cards for tonight, 2 lead cards for tomorrow.
Why give him the good leads? He's got the leads. He's got the leads. He's got the good leads. The whole thing is the leads.
They stole the Glengarry leads.
Let's talk about something important. Put that coffee down. Coffee's for closers only.
There we go. It's day's top stories. Good stuff there, man. First show jitters, maybe, from our computer system. It's all good. We'll get them. Hey, first hot lead, man. I saw this. Former Texan, Charles Omenihu. Remember that guy? I thought this guy was going to be an absolute beast of a pass rusher for the Texans a couple of years ago. I mean, had some good moments, during the lean years.
Traded him for a ham sandwich.
Yeah, 2019, 2020. Spent a little time in San Francisco before making his way up to Kansas City with the Chiefs. Had 1 sack in yesterday's win. Afterwards, Here's what he had to say, man. And before I let you hear the audio, I'm going to tell you this right now. I came in today, and the first headline I saw, Charles Omenihu, out, torn ACL, will not play in the Super Bowl. But this is what he had to say after the game last night.
This is what I came here for, bro. This is exactly what I came here for. Make big plays, help the team win. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be good. Like I know I'm not done. I'm playing. I'm be straight. We're here.
You're playing at Super Bowl 58.
Yes. You think do I look like somebody that's not going to play in the Super Bowl? No, I don't. I'm there. Come on, bro.
Congrats, man. Go enjoy that. Yep.
Heartbroken for this guy. He was so confident, feeling so good, vibing last night after that victory, right? And then I guess he gets a scan, wakes up this morning, and ain't feeling too good. Out for the Super Bowl. You're in, and then boom, out. Taken away from you just like that. I hate that for Charles Omenihu.
I'm playing. I'm golden. Son of a bitch.
Can you believe it?
Man, I hate when that happens. All my life, all my dreams, everything's coming to get ripped away at the seams.
Now, he's going to get a ring. And I'm not going to say if. He's going to get a ring. He's going to get a ring. Just give the damn thing to the Chiefs already. I mean, my God.
I mean, look, I'm happy for Omenihu that he got to play on actual teams after escaping the black hole that was the Texans 2 years ago.
Couple good teams.
Who traded him for a, quote, future late-round pick. They gave him away for nothing. Typical, move from the powers that be of that era.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm happy I don't root against specific players. You have to be like a Trevor Bauer type person for me to really just root against, like a Greg Hardy, for me to want you to just get launched into the damn sun, right?
Yeah.
I want someone to put cement shoes on you and drop you somewhere in the Indian Ocean. You've got to be that kind of person. Generally, if you're just a regular guy, even if I have sports hate for you, I still want you to be successful. I want you to make money because, rising tide lifts all boats. I want all players to make money. But I'm happy for Omenihu. He's getting to play with real teams. It freaking sucks.
Yeah, man.
That it's like, oh, by the way, your knee disintegrated.
Yeah, it did. Like overnight. Overnight was not good, man. That's our first hot lead. Up next, the Rockets in town hosting the Lakers, going to work on the Lakers tonight. 87-61 play stands right now with just about 9 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Jalen Green, the good version of him, and a really good version of Cam Whitmore are on display at Toyota Center tonight. Dudes have combined for 39 points on 15 of 26 shooting. Jalen Green, 9 of 16 himself, hit 3 from beyond the arc so far tonight. He's got 9 boards, 4 dimes. Again, 87-61 Rockets over the Lakers. They got a couple more games, PC, on this homestand. Man, it's get right for them, too, because they've dropped 7 of 10. And I feel like you could really have said that the last week or so. They've lost 7 of 10. That's just the current of where they're standing right now. But they have just been reeling off loss after loss after loss, man. It ain't been pretty. Udoka, I think he's about to get him right, though. I think he's about to get him right. I got one answer. I got one magic pill for this guy. There's one thing he can do to get these guys going, and you said it to me earlier. Play Cam Whitmore more. Play him more. He's only got 10 minutes tonight.
I need more Cam Whitmore. Look, I think Jalen Green's got a lot of talent. I am concerned that here we are in year 3, and he is still as inconsistent as ever. It looked like, all right, is he finally going to make the turn here? He has a strong game against the Blazers, has a strong game against the Hornets, not such a strong game against the Brooklyn Nets. Now he's got a strong game against the Lakers. And if we're going to be fair, okay, full transparency, every time the Lakers lose, a kid gets a puppy. All right, every time the Lakers lose, a kid gets a puppy. Please think of the puppies. And right now, LeBron James, a minus 20 in the game. There's 7.5 minutes to go in the third quarter, and the Rockets are up 30.
Love it.
94-64. They are up. They got a 16-4 run to open the third quarter. The Lakers with Antonio Davis, or the unibrow, whatever the hell is it, with the brow. Right? I always say Antonio Davis, Anthony Davis. Antonio Davis played for the Pacers back in the 90s.
You're just putting a little Latino flair on it. It's all good.
I'm making his name sound cooler. But Anthony Davis playing in this game. LeBron James playing in this game. D'Angelo Russell playing in this game. And the Lakers are getting friggin' waxed at Toyota Center. And that, my friends, is glorious. Cam Whitmore, you mentioned, he's only got 10 minutes. He's got 16 points and 4 boards, and he is plus 16. He is 6 of 10 from the field. Look, like I said, Jalen Green, I think he's got a lot of talent. I think there is an opportunity for Jalen Green to become a really good player in this league. I need Cam Whitmore in a starting lineup, and unfortunately that means Jalen Green would not be in the starting lineup.
Yeah, I don't know if I need him in the starting lineup because I think Jalen's going to end up being a really, really good player. I think he can put it together. There's more pieces for me, that the Rockets need on this team. This is just year one, okay, under Udoka. I think Jalen Green is super, super talented, but, you got to give Whitmore more than 12 to 15 minutes a night.
Would you deal Jalen Green in a package to get Donovan Mitchell?
Yeah.
It didn't even take me that long.
Yeah.
To get Donovan Mitchell? if Donovan Mitchell becomes available on the Cavs, because they've got injury issues and they just had a guy get suspended for the next 3 months. If Donovan Mitchell becomes available, you have a chance, after they accelerated the rebuild this offseason, you have a chance to then further take your team from, hey, we're a play-in team, maybe an 8 seed, to go to hey, we're top 3. Top 3 in the conference with a guy like Donovan Mitchell, legit two-way boss player.
Yeah. You'd be on your way with a guy like Donovan Mitchell. I still think the Rockets need, another big man, a true rim protector. They've got to have that. I think that's really what kills them defensively. But yeah, you can't argue with that. You get a guy like Donovan Mitchell. You're taking the next step, boom, immediately overnight. As much as I believe in Jalen Green and that he'll be a real player in this league, go out and get Donovan Mitchell.
That could be a deal that works for both teams. But you know what? For where the Rockets are and how good we see they can be on various nights, you go get Spider Mitchell, who, is a killer on both ends, is a guy that can give you those buckets when you need those buckets.
Yes.
Man, I tell you what, Freddie VanVleet would freaking love having him there.
Yeah. Hey, let me give you the last hot lead because it's making me nervous as hell, man. It's making me nervous as hell. Gerard Johnson over the weekend drew interest from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They wanted to interview him for their offensive coordinator position. Texans quarterback coach Gerard Johnson's already interviewed with 6 teams. Only 2 of them, the Eagles and the Browns, have made hires. The Saints, Patriots, Steelers are the other teams. You can throw the Bucs into that list now who have interviewed him this past weekend. They need to get this thing sewed up quick, man, and not with anybody named Gerard Johnson and Bobby Slowick, because I ain't feeling any kind of nice knowing that CJ Stroud's going to be going into the 2024 season having to learn from 2 completely different integral pieces that he learned from this season in a spectacular, one of the best rookie years that we'd seen from a quarterback in a long, long, long time. That's going to do it for Hot Leads. He's Patrick Creighton, Sean Bajani. Coming up next, biggest questions that I need answered this spring training from your Astros. That's next.
Payne and Pendergast.
If you lose both of those guys, you lose both your quarterback coach and your offensive coordinator, then that's when I'd start getting nervous, because it's not as simple as just finding somebody who is of like mind. You got to find 2 competent people.
Yeah.
That's obviously a lot harder to do.
I feel confident that there's a good backup solution. I'd just rather not have to deploy it.
Wake up with Sean and Seth, 6 to 10 every morning on Sports Radio 610.
Hey, it's Sean Pendergast, my friends at the Men's T Clinic. You guys know my story. I've been going to the Men's T Clinic for over 3.5 years now for my testosterone replacement therapy, and it's been one of the best decisions that I've ever made. But they want you to know that they've got a whole menu of treatments for male wellness. It doesn't matter if it's issues in the bedroom, issues with losing weight, with gaining muscle mass. They've got something for everybody at the Men's T Clinic. Make the appointment today. Make that consultation visit. Get your quality of life back. 5 locations around town. Find the one near you at mensteaclinic.com.
It's a new year and time for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT, cybersecurity, and AI. Already in IT, build cybersecurity skills and prep for thousands of open positions nationwide that employers are desperate to fill. At My Computer Career, you could become job-ready in just a few months. Make this your year. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. That's mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill.
Show your love this Valentine's with exquisite fashion jewelry from Diamonds Direct and save an extra 20%. Now through Valentine's, all fashion favorites at Diamonds Direct are on sale. All earrings, all bracelets, all necklaces, stackable bands, colored gemstone jewelry, and more. Lots of romantic and timeless gifts for under $500. Special financing available too. Don't miss this. An extra 20% savings on all fashion jewelry favorites at Diamonds Direct. Shop in store or online at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-335-1274 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-335-1274. That's 800-335-1274. What do you have to lose? Call 800-335-1274. Again, 800-335-1274.
I will power rank soda weight loss as the number one by far in a route best way I've found to drop weight and keep it off. Because I've dropped weight before, fad diets and different things like that, and you always put the weight back on. I've been on the soda weight loss plan now. I've been on maintenance for the better part of 3 years. In June of 2020 is when I went on the plan, dropped nearly 50 pounds of fat weight in just a few months, got rid of all my fat guy clothes, bought brand new clothes, and all those clothes are still fitting. And the coolest thing about soda weight loss was how quickly I saw results. When you step on the scale that very first week and you see that, for me, I was down 5 or 6 pounds that first week. That's very gratifying. If you've thought about doing it, get to sodaweightloss.com. Sodaweightloss.com. There's thousands and thousands of Google reviews of people like me and Ron Hughley and John McClain who've been successful on the plan. Sodaweightloss.com. Click the Soda at Home tab, and that's where things start for you right there. Soda is what? State of the art.
Hey, you're up next.
My throat hurts so bad. There's no way I can sing tonight.
Here, try these.
Vicks VapoCool Drops.
Yeah, Vicks VapoCool Drops has maximum strength menthol with a rush of Vicks Vapors.
Ooh, I can already feel it.
I told you. So, you ready?
I'm ready.
Please welcome to the stage.
Vaporize sore throat pain fast with Vicks VapoCool Drops.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
And now another no-brainer money-saving tip from Progressive.
That doesn't sound good.
Paper shredder's jammed, but I think I fixed it.
Oh, well, try shredding these $50 bills then.
Seems like it's working.
Better try another $400.
Stop. Instead of using money, use regular paper. And here's a better tip from Progressive on how not to waste money. Don't pay too much for car insurance. Drivers who switch and save could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Sports Radio 610 presents Area 45 with Bijani and Creighton.
Welcome back to the show, 713-572-4610. If you'd like to be a part of the show, you can hit Chris Santiago up on the phone lines or text us 713-572-4610. Hit us on Twitch, YouTube as well. On Twitch, just search 610 Houston, and you can look at us like our boss man is. He's got us up in the game room, probably shooting some pool.
Dude, that's the 65-inch TV up there.
Man.
That's the big boy.
You took in Royal Rumble at the boss's house this weekend. How was that?
It was awesome.
Yeah?
He had it catered from our dude Sam, Big City Wings.
Yeah.
Got trays of wings. We got the regular waffle fries. Got the sweet potato fries. His amazing wife made this huge thing of queso that was off the hook. And
was it spicy? A little spice to it?
Oh, yeah. And ground beef. It was so good.
I'm kicking myself in the ass for missing that.
Should have went.
You know I was supposed to go, but here's what happened. So I got a 4-year-old for people that don't know.
You had a small ache. It was somewhere in the hiney region.
No. No. This may be kind of in the neck region, but it was self-inflicted. Me being the nice guy that I am, my wife wanted to spend time with her grandmother over the weekend. And so I said, you know what? I was like, Parker's all the way out in Katy anyway. I'm like, just go, have fun, don't rush, spend all the time you need, do lunch, hell, do an early dinner if you want to. And if you get back in time, you get back in time, we'll go and it'll be a surprise. She stayed out the whole time, and I had my boy had me, rather. We went on a bike ride, we played baseball, basketball, football, we had a mock wrestling match. We played soccer in the backyard. We did everything. Next thing I know, it's like 5 o'clock, and I'm like, yeah, no, not going. So I left it to you. So, boss man, if you're listening, watching, I'll hit the next one up, man. You got to have one soon. But I heard it was pretty epic. So.
It was pretty cool. Let me ask something, because, your boy, 4 years old.
Uh-huh.
I once upon a time had a boy who was 4 years old. When you do the wrestling match, when you choke slam your 4-year-old and slam him off the bed, does he pop up and go, again?
No. Well, he likes it. I mean, he might say that, but we're not at the choke slamming phase yet.
Are you doing the gorilla press?
We do. He likes the people's elbow.
Okay.
And so he'll do the people's elbow on me about 20 times in a row. And then I will give him try the suplex, on the couch, I have to worry a little bit about him. He's 4, okay?
But he's
so
still small. You can do the gorilla press. You push him all the way over your head, and then you just throw him up in the air and let him bounce off the bed.
Yeah, it's modified gorilla press. It's modified.
And then he'll pop up and be like, again!
He's a clumsy sucker, dude. So I got to, be careful. My house is not, totally baby-proof. A lot of sharp edges,
Well, there's no sharp edges on the bed.
On the what?
On the bed.
No, well, our bed, we have one of those IKEA beds with the platform comes out a little wider than the mattress does, so I worry about that, him bouncing off. But
all right,
I'm not there yet.
I'm going to ask you a question here, because this goes to your sanity. Do you hate yourself?
Sometimes. Why?
Why would you buy anything from IKEA? That is all Allen keys.
All right.
Allen keys are the bane of my friggin' existence.
Right, so you say
I hate Allen keys.
I had to use an Allen key today to tighten up our swing set in the backyard. And I had to sift through about 15 of them before I'd found the one that actually fits the swing set.
The invention of Allen key, if we could go back in time and just throw that person in an oven and just melt them to nothing, so we never have Allen keys.
All of the thoughts that were going through my mind today, yeah.
If we could put them in cryogenic stasis, right next to the head of Ted Williams, if we could put them in a deep freezer.
No, you don't want to freeze them.
So they could never, ever create Allen keys. If we could put them at an original nuclear test site from the 40s, not inside one of the lead encased refrigerators that save Indiana Jones. No. He's got to get the full nuclear melting.
Yeah.
You think back to Raiders of the Lost Ark, they open the Ark and everybody just gets freaking nuked and melted. That's what I want to happen to the person who created Allen keys. I hate you. I hate you. I hate your whole family. I want you to be. I want you dead. I want your family dead. I want your house burnt to the ground. Yes, I am Al Capone, and this is the Untouchables. Okay, I want him dead. I want his family dead. I want his house burnt to the ground. I don't have anger issues. I promise.
Why did I love them so much back in the day, though? It's because I didn't need to go get a drill. Or I didn't need to find the Phillips. I didn't come in a bag of like 50, little miniature screws where I needed to have all of these things on hand. Everything was in a bag, but now I hate it because if you use any force that is greater than an 8-year-old's to put anything together that comes from these places, you're going to strip it. So, yeah, I agree with you in that regard. And I may or may not have stripped about 4 of them today trying to tighten that rusty-ass swing set in the backyard.
See, having a drill is like a rite of passage, right? Once you get your first power drill, that's the day you go from being a boy to a man. So as soon as you get your first power drill, you are officially a man.
Facts.
I got my son his first power drill at 16, by the way.
Good job by you, Dad.
He was going to learn.
Yeah.
And he came in handy when he had to do his Eagle Scout project because they were drilling stuff all freaking weekend.
I'm just not there. I'm not like that guy. I'm not at that stage in my life maybe yet where I can't wait to pull out the power tools.
Oh, dude.
I despise any work that I have to do at home that requires anything that means I'm using a screwdriver, a drill, nuts, bolts, like you name it. And I unfortunately had to do all that crap.
I will tell you that even if it is something that I could just do with a simple screwdriver, oh yeah, we'll get the power drill, baby.
I'll be there one day, man. I guess I'll get there one day.
Any excuse, absolutely any excuse to pull out the power drill, we pull out the power drill.
Give me real quick your biggest question going into spring training. Earlier we talked about like the 3 players that are must watch going into spring, and I like ours. We had Framber Valdez, we had Jose Abreu, and we had Christian Javier. All 3 guys we agreed upon, and if we wanted to expand, I think we'd probably go Jake Myers. I had Hunter Brown in there, so I think that's a pretty fair top 5. I think all are super key. But aside from that, give me the biggest question mark you have for this ball club going into spring.
All right. Number 1, what Jake Myers do we have? Because you're talking about a guy that, according to Dana Brown, is going to be the everyday center fielder.
Mm-hmm.
While the numbers say Jake Myers is almost an elite-level center fielder, there are plenty of times that we watch with our own eyes where it looked like he was playing center field while being chased by bees. So which Jake Myers are we going to get the Jake Myers from 2021 who was like a solid 250, 260 hitter, had a good walk rate, had some pop, stole some bases, or are we going to get the guy from the last 2 years who strikes out on pitches right down the pipe, is taking strikes and waving at balls?
Yeah, no plate discipline.
Are we going to get the guy who, is going to reach for every pitch out over the plate and roll it over into a 6-4-3? Which Jake Myers are we going to get? Are we finally going to get the guy who was confident and understood what he could and couldn't do, stayed within himself, and was a productive player? Because, look, if Jake Myers hits 260 and he's got a 345 on base, and he hits 22 homers and he steals 22 bases and he plays the kind of defense we know he can play, it's an all-star center fielder.
Well, yeah, but I mean, my God, you said it hit 20-something homers?
22 homers? I don't think that's a ton.
No, but I mean, it's hard for me to see that. I think it's hard for everybody to see that from Jake Myers. I agree with you. Whenever he had that, and it was a small sample size relative to the 162-game season, but when he was playing lights out in 2021 before he hurts his shoulder in that playoff game against the White Sox, I was really liking what I was seeing. But a large part of me since then, I've become resigned to the fact that, you know what? You're not going to hit on everybody. Not everybody can be what you just described, in the Astros system. Sometimes you're going to swing and miss as an organization, and maybe they did with Jake Myers. I think this is probably just as big, if not, this is bigger because, he's had more than a cup of coffee. He's been a dude for this team the last 2 years, and he just hadn't proven that he needs to continue to be. But I was going to say this is a big year for him, maybe as big as Forrest Whitley. But Forrest Whitley hadn't sniffed the freaking jockstrap in a major league clubhouse yet.
It's because every time he pitches well, his shoulder explodes.
Yeah, his shoulder explodes. He gets popped for PEDs. There's just always an issue. Or you know what? He's just not that good. He's not getting outs. But it's a big year for Jake Meyers. I think he's going to have opportunity to prove himself in spring training. But you can't tell me that if you look at the numbers, if you look at the guy, there's no way in hell Chas McCormick shouldn't be given every opportunity to be your everyday center fielder. He should have been given that opportunity last year from day one.
Yeah, well, Pawpaw was not in the habit of giving playing time to a guy he felt was forced upon him, a year or two earlier when they decided they were shipping Miles Straw out of here to get Phil Maton and Yiner Diaz, in an absolute heist move.
Yeah.
By a former general manager of this team.
Pawpaw's not here no more.
Unceremoniously shown the door because he couldn't get along with Pawpaw. But, think about it. Chas McCormick made one of the most iconic World Series catches in the history of baseball. His reward for that was being made a part-time player behind a guy who, offensively at least, couldn't carry his jockstrap.
Yeah.
And being kicked over to left field.
Mm-hmm.
That was his reward for making an absolutely iconic World Series catch, at Citizens Bank Park.
Yeah, man.
It was always never made sense. When you think about last year with the Astros, all the injuries to the pitching, having Altuve and Alvarez both down at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that Pawpaw refused to play two of his best offensive players for large stretches of time because, he didn't give a damn.
Yeah.
And look, part of that's on Jim Crane, who gave him way too much power. And all the same issues that you saw between Dusty and Click all happened again with Dusty and Dana because Dusty's like, I'm doing it my way, kiss my ass.
Yeah.
I don't care what the numbers say. I don't care what you tell me. I'm doing it my way. I'm playing defense, which was great in 2022 when you were the best pitching team in the league. And it was a horrible failure last year because they were a middle-of-the-league pitching staff. And everybody knew that except Dusty Baker.
Uh-huh.
When you talk about Jake Meyers, so here's the issue with Jake Meyers, right? Is Jake Meyers a 4A player? Because you go back to 2021, Jake Meyers hit 343. At AAA. He had 16 homers in 271 at-bats.
Yeah.
He had a 10.06 OPS. Gets up to the Astros, hits 6 more homers and 146 at-bats, hitting 260, 761 OPS, which is still a 107 OPS plus. A little better than the league average.
What was his on base?
323. Not great, but it was his first cup of coffee in the league, and he's, he was holding his own. 2022, they bring him up too soon. He clearly is not healthy. He's got little mental issues with the wall and his arm. They send him down to AAA. Hits 306 out of 913 OPS.
Mm-hmm.
He had 7 homers and 144 at-bats. The guy absolutely freaking rakes at AAA. How do we get that guy to translate to the major league level? Can that guy translate to the major league level? Jake Meyers is 28 this year. He's not a kid.
Yeah.
This is his shot. This is make or break for him. Either he is the guy he was at AAA or he's a 4A player and he's out of here at the deadline.
Yep.
Or at least kick to being the 4th, 5th outfielder and they go make a deal.
That's a big question. I think we'll have an answer to it, at least a little bit more of one here in the next month plus when spring training is well underway. There's another question that I think we started to get an appropriate answer to just this past week. I want to talk a little bit about that on the other side. He's Patrick Creighton, Sean Bajani. It's Area 45, Sports Radio 610.
Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen.
Your favorite hosts in Houston are headed to Vegas. Yingling Flight presents Sports Radio 610 live from Radio Row. Thanks to Low T Center the entire week leading up to the big game. The best football conversation. Interviews with the brightest stars in sports and pop culture. And all the fun that comes along with being in Sin City. Hope you're ready, H-Town.
Houston's sports leader. Sports Radio 610.
Quick question, y'all. Are you sick and tired of achy joints? Do you dread the idea of surgery? Well, heck, man, you need to call QC Kinetics today. Clint Stoerner here, and I need y'all to listen up, man. The state of healthcare is always changing. The old ideas like steroids and surgery, they're no longer your only options. Regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics is transforming lives with innovative, non-surgical, drug-free treatments that deliver lasting results. You got knee pain, back pain, shoulder pain? Is it all from arthritis or an old injury? Whichever you're dealing with, the key is you can't let the pain keep you from living your best life. QC Kinetics, their advanced state-of-the-art treatments harness and direct your body's natural ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Make 2024 the year you get moving again. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. 713-913-5285. QC Kinetics, they're in Sugar Land, the Woodlands, the Heights, and now they're in Cypress. 713-913-5285.
January 30th, H-Town's brightest stars come together with Sports Radio 610 for the Houston Sports Awards, presented by TDECU. And for the first time ever, you can be a part of the celebration. View red carpet arrivals of H-Town's greatest athletes, relive the best moments of 2023, and celebrate the induction of this year's Houston Sports Hall of Fame class. All for just $95. Get your tickets for Houston's biggest party now at HoustonSportsAwards.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-335-1274 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-335-1274. That's 800-335-1274. What do you have to lose? Call 800-335-1274. Again, 800-335-1274.
People ask me all the time, why do you call back every customer day after their delivery? Because at Gallery Furniture, our life's work is taking care of our customers. Buy your furniture today. Gallery Furniture delivers free today. Gallery Furniture works hard to delight you and get you your furniture today.
It all comes down to this. Super Bowl 58. Listen live from Westwood One on the free Odyssey app. The Kansas City Chiefs.
Takes the snap. Darts a pass near side. Caught by Kelsey. Wrapped to the ground at the 12.
And the San Francisco 49ers.
With a comeback for the ages, the 49ers are going back to the Super Bowl.
Wherever you are next Sunday, stream Super Bowl 58 with Westwood One on the free Odyssey app. Download it today and search Super Bowl. AUDACY.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
MD Anderson Cancer Center is again named #1 in the nation for cancer care by U.S. News and World Report's Best Hospitals rankings. Our physicians treat more types of cancers in a day than many see in their whole career. This unmatched depth of expertise, combined with our groundbreaking discoveries, gives our patients access to the most innovative treatment options. Learn more at mdanderson.org.
KILT FM HD2 Houston. Insider access. Exclusive content. Sports Radio 610. The Texans play here. An Odyssey station.
Live from the Twin Peaks studios, Sports Radio 610 presents Area 45 with Bishani and Creighton.
Here we go. We're talking about the biggest questions going into Astros spring training. Gets going here in just over a couple of weeks. 2 weeks, 2 days before pitchers and catchers report. And we're talking a lot about the center field position, Jake Myers. I feel like one of the biggest questions, PC, that I had really since he'd gotten hired, and it's because how strong this dude had come out, Dana Brown, their general manager. From day one, he told us how aggressive of a guy that he was naturally, how aggressive that he needed to be. And, we kind of put the puzzle pieces together. Some of the stories that had leaked, shortly before Jim Crane and James Click, their former GM, had kind of parted ways, and Crane was going to move on. It was, well, you know what? The two don't vibe. Click was too passive, not aggressive enough for Crane's liking. And so, hey, you know what? Jim Crane's got his dude, has a guy that he can trust. And one of the very first things that Jim Crane does with Dana Brown in-house is he goes out and makes another deal for Justin Verlander. And we're like, well, okay. Dana Brown's got to prove something. He's got to show us something to kind of give us a taste of what we could expect from our general manager. I feel like he did that this past week in getting Josh Hader in-house in an Astros uniform, 5 years, $95 million, when he already had Ryan Presley, and somebody that I feel like you felt as good about as you could anybody, because he's been nails in the postseason. Was again this last year for the Astros. Now you're just embarrassingly good again in the back of the bullpen. I get Dotel, Lidge, and Wagner vibes. That's kind of what I go back to, as dominant as those three guys were.
They're the nasty boys.
Yeah, man. It was a kind of a flash in the pan feel, but you had those guys for a couple to 3 years, I feel like, back in the day, and it was awesome. I don't know how long you can keep this core three, have 7, 8, 9 sewed up for the Astros with Abreu and Presley and Hader, presumably.
Here is, look, the Presley, Abreu, and Hader back end is the most badass bullpen that has existed in baseball this millennium. You have three absolute freaking lockdown guys, and it's something that, back on like November 9th, I had put out on Twitter my, how I wanted the Astros, like what I put together for what should be their offseason plan. We knew they weren't going to go out and spend like super like high, like they weren't going to go out and get the Shohei Ohtanis, even though that would have been so badass. They weren't going to make a trade for Juan Soto. Yeah. They weren't going to go sign Blake Snell. They weren't going to do those things. But you look at the pitching that you have. Outside of Verlander and Valdez, you got a bunch of 5-inning pitchers. Mm-hmm. Occasionally, some of those guys might get to 6, but for the most part, you got a bunch of 5-inning pitchers.
Yeah.
Well, if you can shorten the game to 6 innings, because 7, 8, and 9, you're on absolute friggin' lockdown. That makes life a lot easier in trying to manage. Because, look, JV and Fromber, they're always giving you 6. Mm-hmm. But Javier and Urquidy and JP France and Hunter Brown, those guys more often than not, 5, 5 1/3, not quite getting through 6. Well, if 7, 8, 9 are on lockdown, that means you can be pretty judicious about how you're going to handle just that one extra inning. Maybe if your starter's only pumping, hey, I might only get 4 out of them. I've only got to fill 2 innings before I get to my bosses, the back of the pen. And look, last year, the Astros got a lot of work out of Hector Neris, out of Phil Maton, who was really good last year, out of Ryan Stanek. That's a lot of innings that you got to fill. And Josh Hader's not going to fill all those.
If you include Kendall Graveman in that, which he was only here for 22, 23 ball games, that's more than 200 innings that you have to replace.
It's half your pen.
Yeah.
It's half your pen. And right now, like the back end of their pen is boss. And maybe Rafael Montero, who, look, first half of last year was unpitchable. Mm-hmm. Second half of the year, a lot more easier to deal with. Like, he was okay. He had some really good moments, but for the most part, he was okay. Well, if that Rafael Montero is pitching the 6th and not the 8th, probably live with that. Problem is, after those 4 guys, right, because you expect they're going to go with the 6-man rotation again. Justin Verlander's like 42 years old. Mm-hmm. You need that. I don't care how much he bitches, he wants to bowl every 5th day. They're going to play, 28 games in 30 days to start the season?
38 games in the first 40 days of the season. Yeah,
so you're not running him every 5th day. You're going 6-man rotation.
Exactly, yeah.
Who are going to be, those other 3 arms in the pen? Because Seth Martinez has horrible splits. Anybody want to take Ronel Blanco still walks the ballpark. Forrest Whitley, I don't care what Dana says about Forrest Whitley. He's going to be the guy. Forrest Whitley last year had a 5.7 ERA in 30 innings at AAA because that's all he got before his arm blew up. The year before, he had a 13.5 ERA in rookie ball.
Yeah.
He pitched to a 7 ERA at Sugarland. This guy, and look, I feel for Forrest Whitley because once upon a time, he was a top 10 overall prospect in all of baseball. And the problem is he's 6'7", and now he's probably 250 pounds. This is a guy who, because he's so tall, his body is filled out a little bit more each year.
Mm-hmm.
And the Astros were constantly tweaking his rotation. Every year, they changed this kid's rotation. It's little wonder why he's had so many injuries. They changed his delivery every damn year.
Yeah.
He's never had the chance to go one year to the next and repeat the same delivery. Which I can't imagine why his control's not that great.
Yeah. I mean, that's got to be such a difficult thing to kind of, meander through, because you take a guy so young and his body, he's gone through a complete body transformation, as you talked about. I mean, he's grown up, height-wise, width-wise. And so if you're the Astros, who you should trust developmentally to get it right more times than not with these young guys, and they have, you're going to miss sometimes. It's very difficult. Look, he's had his own issues, man. It hadn't just been about performance. It's been, other things, whether it be between the ears, whether it be PEDs, suspensions. These things have all gotten in the way of his development. I mean, you're right. What you're saying, you can't argue with the constant tweaking. But if you're seeing a guy that is growing up so much and is different every year he reports, at some point, yeah, you should let a guy just go and be him and give him a chance to be comfortable in his own skin.
He's also a guy that lost 2 years of baseball between injury, COVID, suspension. He didn't pitch in 2020.
Yeah.
He didn't pitch in 2021. Right? He went from age 21 to age 24 between pitches.
Crazy.
Those are 2 very key developmental years that he lost. He's really tall. He's, you consider the fact that, guys that big tend to, sometimes they take a little longer to develop because when guys are that big, their mechanics can get a little wonky.
Exactly.
But he's going to be 26 this year. He's never healthy. All right. You look back here. Let me give you some scary freaking stuff. Last year, he pitched 30 innings. In 2022, he pitched 40 innings. In 2019, because that was the last time he had pitched before that, he threw 59 2/3 innings. In 2018, he threw a total of 52 1/3. In 2017, that was his career high, 92 1/3.
Yeah.
He hasn't pitched.
Yeah.
Just pitch.
There's a reason why Dana Brown and the Astros are talking about this guy being a bullpen arm and not a starter anymore, because of the lack of workload. I mean, he's going to be 26 years old, and you're going to ramp up to what, 28? And the clock is this is the biggest year of his professional career. It's make or break time for Forrest Whitley. And so you mentioned that, and the guys that the Astros are not going to have back in their pen. You talked about Ronel Blanco, Seth Martinez, Brandon Bielak. Matt Gage we saw a little bit last year. Bennett Sousa, Parker Mashinsky. You're going to have to figure out like 200 innings between that. And Spencer Arrighetti's a guy that maybe should contribute this year. Dana Brown talked about him a couple of weeks ago. Didn't even mention Forrest Whitley. Okay, there's your first indicator. If you believe Spencer Arrighetti's going to be a part of this team at this point in time and doesn't even mention Forrest Whitley, that should tell you everything you need to know.
Spencer Arrighetti is a guy that I got to see multiple times last year. And even though the ERA was a little high, it was like the mid-4s at Sugar Land, you got to keep in mind, the Space Cowboys were awful. I mean, they were awful last year. But his stuff is real.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm very good friends with Gerald Sanchez, who is one of the broadcasters for the Space Cowboys.
Gerald's
Gerald
awesome.
and I go back a long, long time. And I talked to Gerald about him a lot. And he's like, he's got the right makeup. He's got the right stuff. He need a little refining. But he's a guy that, you know, he was 20, you know, he's going to be 24 this year. That's usually a good step up type year for a guy like that. I have a lot more confidence in a Spencer Arrighetti coming up and, say, being a swingman on this team where maybe he gets some tandem work with a guy like a Hunter Brown or a Jose Urquidy, where maybe, all right, you get 4 innings out of that guy, you get 3 innings out of Arrighetti. Maybe he's a guy you can use as a multi-inning weapon out of the pen. You give him 2 innings here, you give him 2 innings 3 days later. Yeah. I have a lot more faith in Spencer Arrighetti making an impact on this team than I do in Forrest Whitley making an impact on this team. Now, a lot of that is Forrest's inability to stay healthy. But as far as, look, guy who's had success, you know what? Spencer Arrighetti has had a lot more success recently.
Sure.
And he's pitched a lot more innings through 124 and 2/3 innings last year. He's had a lot more durability and a lot more reps than Forrest Whitley has had. I would tell you Spencer Arrighetti farther along right now than Forrest Whitley. And I think he's a guy who could make it in, maybe not necessarily right out of camp to start the season, but I think as soon as there's an injury, I think Spencer Arrighetti, if, for example, if they're in a 6-man rotation and Jose Urquidy's shoulder decides to get cranky again, I think Spencer Arrighetti would be the guy who gets called up and put into that spot.
Yeah, that's going to be something to watch, man. I mean, you talk about Jose Urquidy. Hey, something to consider, too. Look, the Astros at some point in time, probably not till June, July, August, you know, I'll give a 3-month block there because I'm not sure. Like, I think Lance McCullers was on a 12 to 13-month plan once he had his flexor tendon cleaned up and that whole thing. This past May or June it was. I can't remember. It was one of those. But they were back-to-back. Luis Garcia and Lance McCullers. You're going to get those guys back at some point right around the trade deadline as expected this year.
Hopefully.
What they contribute, who knows? But if you could get a really good version of Spencer Arrighetti in a pinch at some point, awesome. If you could get a guy like Dylan Coleman, who the Astros got from the Royals in a trade last month, awesome. If JP France, by the way, can pitch the way that he did when he'd first come up with the Astros last year, awesome. Hunter Brown, same thing. Like, this could be good, but there's so many ifs attached to these guys, and a couple of these players that we're talking about, they're probably going to be penciled in as starters to start the season in a 6-man rotation. You still have to be able to get these guys deeper into ball games. And if you can't, and because you can't pitch these guys every single day, the back end of your bullpen, Presley, Abreu, Montero, Nader, you got to get contributions out of everybody we just talked about in that 5th, 6th, 7th inning, giving guys days off. Montero's going to be asked. He's going to have to pitch in higher leverage situations to start this season than he'd finished last season, and it shouldn't be like heart attack city when he comes out to the mound, too.
You know, I think with Montero, because he's not going to be asked to pitch high leverage late inning, he might have to come in and stop bleeding in the 5th, but big difference between pitching a 5th, pitching the 8th.
Well, I'm just talking about giving guys a break, too. You know, those opportunities might arise where he's a 7th and 8th inning guy.
Well, I think 7th inning, yes. I don't think he needs to pitch the 8th.
Yeah, maybe not, yeah.
Even if, whichever, look, when it comes to Presley, right? Presley, you know, there's times in the season, all right, his shoulder gets a little cranky, he needs a couple of weeks off. You know, his knee gets a little cranky, he needs a couple of weeks off. He doesn't necessarily pitch a lot of back-to-backs. He's not going to go, 3 times in 4 days. Him and Hader, I think, are going to split. I think it's possible that they kind of split the closer duties. Now, maybe as part of the deal they gave Hader now is going to get the majority of those as opposed to Presley getting the majority of those. But look, when it comes to closers over the last several years, since Ryan Presley became a full-time closer, he's one of the best in baseball. And since that time, in the postseason, Ryan Presley is the best in baseball. Locked down in the postseason. That's not a knock on Josh Hader. That is absolutely flowers on Ryan Presley, who is nothing but nails. Between those 3 guys, if one guy is not available, then whichever guy between Presley and Hader isn't available, that guy becomes the 9th inning guy, and Abreu just moves up back into the 8th inning. Maybe Montero gets the 7th. But I don't think we're going to see Montero pitching later than the 7th inning, maybe more than once or twice all year. You mentioned about the guys coming back, right? Lance and Garcia. If those guys can come back sometime between July and August, and now they're into the rotation, and they can at least give you 4 or 5 innings to start, that lets you put J.P. France in the pen. That's a guy who can be a spot starter, can be a multi-inning guy who could come in and just give you a strong inning. That lets you put Jose Urquidy in the pen. If you then add Urquidy and France to the bullpen with the 4 guys we're talked about, that pen goes from suspect, that underbelly of the pen being suspect, and look, most teams underbelly of the pen is suspect, to that's the best pen in baseball.
Yeah.
They have the best back end, but the underbelly, those middle innings, is real soft. You get to move J.P. France, who threw a career high in innings last year. Remember, J.P. France threw 155-plus innings last year. He'd never thrown more than 114. Right. He was flat out gassed at the end of the year. Urquidy, every year, that shoulder, look, for the last 3 seasons, that shoulder has been a major question mark. I feel like it's a matter of time before he winds up having surgery. It sucks. It is what it is. Pitchers get hurt. But you don't have the same shoulder injury 3 times in 24 months, and there's not something going on.
Yeah.
Maybe pitching Urquidy out of the pen, maybe that stretches him for another year, maybe it doesn't. But they're going to have reinforcements come. But you got to make it to the deadline. You can't be 10 out on July 5th.
Yep.
So, there's a balance there that they're trying to walk between the reinforcements they know are coming and how they get there. Plus, you never know, guys have setbacks.
Yeah.
Especially guys whose names rhyme with Schmantz.
Yeah.
They have setbacks.
You got to be able to plan for those too. Be prepared for them anyway. You talk about walking the tightrope, keeping the balance. You're going to have to make a decision. You're going to be on or off the bandwagon. We've got the bandwagon segment coming up next. We'll explain what it is. It's Area 45 on Sports Radio 610.
In the loop.
This team has $34 million more than they had in 2022. Why are we like, I don't want to spend that money?
Because the pool of free agents that want to be here is such to where you don't have to overpay guys. Guys want to be here.
You're at the big boys table now. There's never been a better time to address big free agents.
Your lunch break is better with Landry and John. 10 to 2 every day on Sports Radio 610.
Hey, it's Ron Hughley. I got a big announcement. It has now been just over 2 years since I dropped 122 pounds on soda weight loss. And yes, I've been able to keep most of this off over the last 12 plus months. And listen, there were no diet pills. There were no starvation or anything. I did what the plan calls for me to do. Soda is the real thing, baby. Meet your certified nutritionist and they will help change your life like I did. Soda is, say it with me now, state of the art.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-335-1274 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-335-1274. That's 800-335-1274. What do you have to lose? Call 800-335-1274. Again, 800-335-1274.
Customize your dream home with the only Southern Living custom builder with a 20-year warranty and 2x6 walls. That's Kirk Homes. Their in-house designers and architects work with you to build your dream home. Visit them at kirkhomes.com. That's K-U-R-K, because at Kirk Homes, it's all about you.
Nothing says I love you like romantic, timeless jewelry. Even better when you can save an extra 20%. Right now at Diamonds Direct, all fashion favorite jewelry is 20% off. That's earrings, bracelets, pendants, bands, colored gemstone jewelry. Get 20% off Diamonds Direct's already unbeatable prices. Special financing too. Get her something she can enjoy and appreciate for years to come. A fashion favorite from Diamonds Direct. Shop in-store or online at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
LoneStarChevrolet.com. Log on for incredible deals on hundreds of award-winning Chevys, or come get the low Lone Star Chevy price at the legendary Lone Star Chevrolet, 298 Eldridge. Chevy, find new roads.
Sean Pendergast from my friends at the Men's Tea Clinic, where they have a long menu of treatments for male wellness that are going to help you with any issues that you're having. Issues in the bedroom. They've got the Gains Wave that helps out with ED. PRP to help out with ED as well. Of course, testosterone replacement therapy, which is why I go to the Men's Tea Clinic every Friday. They've got something for you if you need your quality of life back. Get to the nearest Men's Tea Clinic right now. There's 5 locations in Houston. Find the one nearest you at mensteaclinic.com.
It's a new year and time for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT, cybersecurity, and AI. Already in IT, build cybersecurity skills and prep for thousands of open positions nationwide that employers are desperate to fill. At My Computer Career, you could become job-ready in just a few months. Make this your year. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. That's mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 10% when you buy 68 or more panels of select OSB sheathing. Plus, save an extra 5% every day on eligible purchases when you use your Lowe's business credit card. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. 5% offer subject to credit approval. Exclusions and terms apply. See store at lowes.com/credit for details. U.S. only. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details.
Nachos! Yeah, your nachos!
Hey, I'll take some.
Great. And some Frank's Red Hot.
Oh, nah, I'm good.
Oh, you're just gonna eat these dry, plain, boring nachos with no Franks? Oh, seriously? Frank it up. Frank it up. Come on, lady. Frank it up. Frank it up. Frank it up. Yeah! Yeah, this guy finally gets it. Hey, look, we're on the Jumbotron.
It's the perfect blend of flavor and heat. Frank's Red Hot. I put that on everything.
Sports Radio 610 presents Area 45 with Bijani and Creighton.
Sean Bijani, Patrick Creighton, back with you, Sports Radio 610. Got you until 10 o'clock. Our first ever show, Area 45. Glad to be here doing it with you guys. Chris Santiago producing, doing a great job. This segment is what we call Bandwagon. I give you a little bit of info, then I will make a statement, and you're going to have to decide if you're on or off the bandwagon. All three of us play along. You can be involved in the show as well. Hit us up, 713-572-4610. Let's do Bandwagon, guys.
Yeah, he's been off the wagon 2 years.
Off the wagon?
I think it's off the wagon.
I think it's on the wagon.
You're back on the wagon.
Right off the wagon.
What the hell do you know about wagons? I know enough not to get on them.
Told you.
There's lots of room.
All right, so Texans rookie quarterback CJ Stroud put together an incredible season underneath offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick and quarterback coach Gerard Johnson. Both have been interviewing all over the place. Bobby Slowick only has 2 openings left that could potentially tab him for a head coaching job, both the Seattle Seahawks and Washington Commanders. The only 2 teams in the entire league that remain without a head coach at this point in time. It's been tied to the Commanders a little bit more than the Seahawks. especially since he has interviewed, as far as Gerard Johnson goes, he's interviewed with 6 different organizations for an offensive coordinator position, including the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, whom he spoke with this past weekend. That is the latest. So he, as far as opportunity, who knows if it's necessarily up to him, but all I'm thinking about, Patrick, is, my God, what is it going to look like in a few short months for CJ Stroud in this offense, going in with maybe an entirely different offensive coordinator and quarterback coach, and who else that was so instrumental in CJ Stroud and this offense's success this year may not be there. Is CJ Stroud going to be fine without either Bobby Slowick and Gerard Johnson in-house? That's the question. CJ Stroud will be fine without Bobby Slowick and Gerard Johnson in the house. I'm going to say that. Are you on or off the bandwagon?
Not only am I on the bandwagon, I'm driving the damn bandwagon. Right? And look, I'm not even convinced he's going to be without either one of them. All right, Bobby Slowick didn't get his head coaching job yet, which means he's probably not going to get one. I'm perfectly okay with that.
I need that Commander's job to come off the board.
But why would you want to go to the Commanders? And see, this is the thing. Like, you think back to Ben Johnson last year with the Lions. It was like, you know what? I'm going to stay here in Detroit. We got something built. I'm going to stay here with Jared Goff before I go take a job with one of these scrub teams that's got a lousy quarterback. If you're Gerard Johnson and you just spent a year driving a Maserati, you want to go to Tampa and drive a Ford Focus?
No.
I don't think so.
Man, I know.
I don't care. Oh, Baker Mayfield, had like a renaissance. What you got from Baker is like Max Q. That is as good as he can possibly be. And that's with Mike Evans, who might be in Houston next year. That's with Chris Godwin. I mean, this team is not going to have at least one of those dudes next year. Baker Mayfield gave you everything he could possibly give you. That means you should expect regression to the mean. You've been coaching CJ Stroud, and you want to go to Baker Mayfield? There are not very many downgrades that you can think of. I want you to think about this for a second. I want you to think about your lovely wife, how amazing she is.
Yes.
I want you to think about the person that you dated before her. Would you ever downgrade like that?
No.
No. You wouldn't even bat an eye. Hell no.
No.
Okay?
I get what you're saying. Almost anything that's out there would be a downgrade. But at some point in time, we see it happen every year, and I think that's the fear, right? These guys are going to move up the ladder. If Gerard, after one season and his only season as the quarterback's coach, has an opportunity to go be an OC somewhere, even if it is Baker, like, who doesn't take that?
I'd just wait a year.
Take it.
Just like Ben Johnson did in Detroit.
You.
I'd just wait a year, have 2 years with CJ, become the OC in Houston, where I might be the OC for 3, 4, 5 years, and have an absolutely prolific offense. And then I can pick whatever head coaching job I want, because I will have the league by the shorties. Let Bobby Slowick be OC one more year. Go get a job coaching a scrub team, and then you inherit the offense with third-year CJ.
Yeah.
Where now we're talking about super, like blue Super Saiyan CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
That's the play. That is the play. But even if it doesn't work out that way, we already seen CJ is the frickin' dude. It doesn't matter who's coaching him. He is going to be a dude. I'm driving that bandwagon.
I'll let you drive. I actually hem and hawed over this a little bit, and Chris, you can tell me what you think in a second, but I'm going to tell you that I'm on the bandwagon. I think CJ's going to be fine. And it might have been just a throwaway line that Bobby Slowick's, mentioned, uttered in words just a couple of weeks ago during a press conference. I think his last availability it was. But when he said, you know what, like at this point in the season, I can almost, I'm paraphrasing, but I can almost like call anything and I know it'll be fine. Those guys will figure it out. Can you imagine just after 18, 19, 20 some odd weeks of working with this offense and CJ Stroud, a rookie, for a coordinator of any experience level to say that about his quarterback, that's what makes me feel good about CJ. What do you think, Chris?
I'm on it as well. I mean, we know how good CJ Stroud is. I mean, we've all seen it all year. I don't think, anything happens to him if either of them leave. So, no, yeah, I think CJ will be fine. I mean, like I said, look at how good. Look at the rookie year he had. Imagine what year 2 is going to look like, regardless if either Gerard or Bobby Slowick are here. So, yeah, I'm on it.
All right, let's go.
You know how Clint says football horny?
Uh-huh.
We're going to be, I need to change my pants. I'll be back in a minute. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I hope you're right. I mean, like I said, I am hot over it, but I'm on that bandwagon. We've got time for this one. I did not know this, and I admittedly have never had a White Castle hamburger.
What?
I've never had a White Castle hamburger.
That's crazy.
But
are you an alien in a Sean suit?
I'm not an alien. I didn't even know, like, this was worth trying, but according to Tyler Milner and you, they have the White Castle hamburgers in the frozen section at the supermarket.
Yeah, they're not the same, but they're okay.
It's frozen. I mean, like, if I'd never tried an In-N-Out burger, the first time I'm going to try one's not going to be the frozen variety. You know what I mean? I'm going to have to go somewhere where I can get a White Castle. I don't know where that is, but Houston is getting its own version of White Castle hamburgers, so I'm told. They're called Small Sliders. They're going to open 5 locations, and they've partnered. I guess Drew Brees is part owner of this. Former New Orleans Saints quarterback Drew Brees. They're going to open 5 Houston locations. I need one of them to be remotely close to me. Do you have these locations pulled up? I think 1 or 2 of them is like Woodlands, Katy area. I'm in Lake Houston. I need one up there. I would presume the other couple are like West U or Galleria.
Okay, so here's where they're going to be. Ready?
Mm-hmm. Give me good news, baby.
Pasadena, Baytown, Mont Bellevue, Summerwood,
yes,
Deer Park, and Edo.
Yes, Summerwood. Let's go.
I don't know where Summerwood is.
Lake Houston.
But
close to me.
Man, we got Baby Bergs coming to the H.
Let's go.
Oh, dude, man, let me tell you.
I've heard so much hype about this, and you're raving about it, so I can't wait.
Like, I grew up with White Castles, right? White Castle is, like, when you're drunk off your ass, you go to White Castle. Late at night, you go to White Castle. When you're looking for that, like, late night snack, you go to White Castle. Man.
Is it like a Northeast thing?
I don't think White
Castle
was
a California thing.
Everywhere. But
except for
it's
here.
Not here. So, like, this was high school for me, right? After you'd get out of school and then come home from practice, there was a little group of 5 of us.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, we would all just go to each other's houses and eat dinner. So we'd go to my buddy Rich's house, we'd eat dinner, come back to my house, eat dinner, go to Larry's house, eat dinner, go to Craig's house, eat dinner, go to Jay's house, eat dinner. Then we'd go work out for like 2 hours. And then after that, you'd go to either White Castle and bang down a 20-sack, or you'd go to Taco Bell and eat like a 10-pack of tacos. Like, that was a normal every day for us.
What's a 20-sack? Like nuggets?
Sack of 20 burgers.
Burgers?
Yeah. White Castle, the little sliders.
20 of them?
Oh, dude, when you're in high school or early college,
I mean,
20 burgers is nothing.
I can't wait.
You slamming belly bombs like crazy.
So, but Small Sliders is supposed to be like similar to these, right?
Well, I'm assuming this will be a higher quality. But yeah, they're sliders, so they're baby burgers.
Man.
Like 3-biters. Yeah, man. Baby burgers, the best. Love baby burgers.
I'm pumped. I can't wait.
Small Sliders. Give me inject it right into my veins. By the way, guys, I do expect you to become sponsors of this show, so just want you to know that.
Text message, don't worry, White Castle isn't anything special. If you buy the frozen burgers, heat it up in the microwave, that's exactly how it'll taste at the restaurant.
Lies! Misrepresentations, fabrications, outright shenanigans. A pox on you. A pox on you, sir, for your defamation of the greatest baby burger institution in America.
You're just killing the 832, man. Hey, I don't know about White Castle. I don't know if I'll ever get one. I don't know where the nearest one is.
Have you ever been to Crystal Burger?
Never heard of Crystal Burger.
All right, so Crystal Burger
I've had In-N-Out.
Kind of like White Castle. They make baby burgers. They're just not that good. Crystal Burger is just ugh. And if you order whatever you order that you think will be ready in 3 minutes, times 10. They are the slowest.
Jeez.
They are the slowest mofos. They make Popeyes look like they have good service. I mean, they are the friggin' worst. But like White Castles, do you know what? You and I are going to go on a trip to the Northeast, and I'm going to take you around to all the Northeast stuff. We're going to go to White Castles. We're going to go get, cheesesteaks in Philly.
Man.
I'm going to take you to some Brooklyn diners. I'm going to take you to the best pizza places in all of New York, and you're going to gain 15 pounds, and you're going to come home and be like, this was the greatest thing ever, and your wife's going to go, looking a little pudgy there. You're like, shut up.
So, hey, if I get to work out and then slam the 20 sack, I'll be good. Like, it'll all even out.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I mean, there's a gym in the hotel. No problem.
All right, that was Bandwagon. I didn't ask you if you're on the bandwagon for sliders.
On the bandwagon.
I
am.
I kind of gathered.
Feed me more.
I'm on because I haven't had a damn thing.
They're good.
I can't tell you if the last time I had a slider was probably like in the high school cafeteria. I can't tell you. But
yeah, and those are sliders because they sliding in and sliding out.
Right? Yeah, you're probably right about that. But I'm looking forward to small sliders coming to Summerwood, man, and all around.
Baby Berg.
All around. All right, final segment of Area 45. We'll say goodnight to you coming up next and give you some of the funnest audio from the weekend. Stay there.
Payne and Pendergast.
If you lose both of those guys, you lose both your quarterback coach and your offensive coordinator, then that's when I'd start getting nervous because it's not as simple as just finding somebody who is of like mind. You got to find two competent people.
Yeah.
That's obviously a lot harder to do.
I feel confident that there's a good backup solution. I'd just rather not have to deploy it.
Wake up with Sean and Seth, 6 to 10 every morning on Sports Radio 610.
People who suffer from arthritis are getting real pain relief with exciting biologic therapies at QC Kinetics.
The success rate is there, and there's no better way to treat yourself when it comes to dealing with pain.
Meet Tyler Vale, co-founder of QC Kinetics, who says they can't cure arthritis, but they can treat the pain.
If you think of the tide coming in and out on the beach and what it does, it erodes the sand, right? Can't stop the tide, but eventually when the sand or the beach gets bad enough, and we backfill that beach with sand so that we get generations of enjoyment with that beach again. And the same thing happens with your knee or your shoulder or your hip or your back. We want to backfill the problems that have happened to this point. I'm not stopping the tide, so I'm not stopping the arthritis, but I want to get generations of enjoyment out of those joints again.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation. Learn more about how restorative biologic therapies can get you real and lasting joint pain relief.
Call QC Kinetics, 713-913-5285. That's 713-913-5285. QC Kinetics, 713-913-5285.
Genetics, stress, hormones, aging. Look, these are all very natural factors that lead to hair loss. And if you're dealing with hair loss, you're struggling with hair loss, there's a proven way to reverse common and even rare patterns of balding, and that's with advanced hair. What's good, y'all? It's Clint Stoerner, and y'all got to check out this groundbreaking technology, man. Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment regrows your own natural hair. Heck, it even regrows your own natural hair in places where it's been gone for years. Advanced Hair works for men and women across all ages. They've improved thousands of lives across our great country, and guess what? You can be next. Advanced Hair's treatments are available right here in Houston as I speak. Get your confidence back today. Get your swagger back today. Schedule your free consultation. Heck, you might qualify for $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Go to advancedhair.com to check out the incredible before and afters. One-day treatment, life-changing results. With Advanced Hair, your new hair is guaranteed to grow. 832-688-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
It's a new year and time for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT, cybersecurity, and AI. Already in IT, build cybersecurity skills and prep for thousands of open positions nationwide that employers are desperate to fill. At My Computer Career, you could become job ready in just a few months. Make this your year. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. That's mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill.
This is Seth Payne. I am here with Trice Ham, the general manager at Bayway Chevrolet on Broadway in Pearland. And Trice, I know a lot of people want a new car in 2024, but they might not feel like they're ready for the payments. What kind of solutions do you have for them?
Everybody knows interest rates are high right now. A lot of people are scared of it. I've got a solution. I hired a full-time leasing manager. We've started a full-on leasing department because there are ways to get into a new vehicle without your payment being too high. You know, a lot of people don't realize how much money you can save when you lease a new Chevy. How about a 2024 Silverado for $349 a month or a brand new Tahoe for $699 a month? Leasing really can save you big money, Seth.
And you guys always have the Bayway guarantee as well.
Absolutely. Anytime you bring me a written offer, I'm going to beat it or I'm going to give you $1,000 cash, and that includes leases.
Oh, I hadn't even thought of that angle, and I got to change all my ad copy now, Trace. So many new ways you guys are helping out customers at Bayway Chevrolet. Check it out online at baywaychevrolet.com. It's Chevrolet. Find new roads.
Getting your biggest tax refund from Jackson Hewitt can lead to some spirited reactions.
Jackson Hewitt!
Jackson Hewitt is so sure that you'll get your biggest refund that if they don't, you get your money back plus $100.
Jackson Hewitt!
And Jackson Hewitt also guarantees the accuracy of your return for life. So don't just sit there. For your biggest refund guaranteed, walk into a Jackson Hewitt today and dance out Jackson Hewitt! Yeah!
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's BABBEL.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Live from the Twin Peaks studios, Sports Radio 610 presents Area 45 with Bishani and Creighton.
Area 45 back with your final segment of the evening. First show. We got a lot of texts this evening saying, man, I don't know if it's a new show or if it's new to me, but sounding good. We appreciate that, man. It is, in fact, the very first show of Area 45 featuring myself, Sean Bajani, Patrick Creighton. If you've been watching us on Twitch, thank you. YouTube, thank you. Listening on the Odyssey app or in your cars and homes on the radio, we appreciate it. Hey, tell your friends, man. We're going to be here every single night, Monday through Friday, 7 to 10, all year long, man. And excited to do it. Be a part of your evenings here in H-Town with you. 713-572-4610 if you want to be a part of the show. Definitely hit us up. Texts have been coming in. A lot of interaction on Twitch as well. Twitch has been awesome.
Twitch, on the YouTube feed, on Twitter, on the text line. Really appreciate everybody, coming and joining us and showing us the love here. First show. And it's so good to be back home where it all started here in H-Town for me. It's just this is home. This feels right. This is where you belong.
Yeah.
Here on Sports Radio 610, home of the Texans, right? The legacy sports station in the market. Even more awesome that, when I worked here the first time, Sean was here, Sean Pendergast was here, John Lopez, Seth Payne.
Yeah, hadn't changed too much.
Laura Reynolds. I'm not even sure. I think Laura might actually be younger than I am, but I always look at her as like the station mom.
Laura doesn't change.
I don't.
She's always looked the same.
I think I'm older than Laura. Laura doesn't look any different, which, I mean, God bless her genes. Laura doesn't look any different, but I've always looked at her as like the station mom, even though I think I'm multiple years older than she is.
She is that, though.
But she's like the station mom. Like, whenever you need anything, Laura's got it.
Yep.
Oh, you know what? I was looking for, and she's already next to you. Oh, I got this. I love you, Laura. I just want you to know, Laura was a really big part in me getting back to Sports Radio 610, and I am eternally grateful for that. A lot of people don't realize this. This is a year and a half of work to get here to day one. This is a year and a half of relationship building, of planning, of trying to figure out how we can get things to work. I mean, look, I don't have to tell you, this country and the entire world has gone through some economic ish over the last several years. And look, companies aren't exactly sure. Well, let's just open that checkbook out and start writing checks.
Exactly.
All right. It was hard to get to this point, and I'm really grateful that the opportunity. I know, our boss Parker. He's been wanting to put a show here for over a year and a half, and I'm really grateful that I'm the guy who he put in here with you to do this show.
Yeah, thanks, man. We're both absolutely grateful for the opportunity, man. So, as the texter said earlier, like to start the show, don't F it up.
Yeah. What's the best advice you ever got? Don't F up.
Looking forward to the show. Don't F it up.
It applies to like everything in life. Don't F up.
Speaking of that, I don't know if I'll ever have this opportunity to do this per se.
What, motorboat the girl behind you?
Man, we're getting a lot of action about the girls behind us.
Yes,
but
we're getting a lot of people on the Twitch stream think that, with the hat backwards, like they're like, Sean's got a face for motorboating. Are you a motorboating SOB?
But no, do anything on a telestrator is what I was getting at. I did not know that this had happened before with Greg Olson, play-by-play guy on CBS. I guess he'd done it like fairly recently. It had to have been like inside the last year or two. But Tony Romo almost made a major boo-boo this past weekend, and I missed this until you brought it to my attention. He was drawing up a play during the Chiefs and Ravens game. Looked like second quarter. At least trying to tell you, the viewer, what the Ravens were supposed to be doing defensively. And as he's going through it, he pretty much almost drew a wanger on the TV screen. And we have the audio. This is kind of what it sounded like.
Defense here. That's exactly right. When you have a chance, you can't just allow a short little 6 to 8 yard pass. You got to play man or sticky coverage. Don't drop back here. Internal pressure. Someone's coming.
Looks like Smith. He is coming.
The
pass complete. And Kelsey puts him in field goal range.
You can't tell me that they didn't have a bet before the game that they were going to be able to pull this off. Use the words on play with Tony Romo drawing a wanger on the TV screen. You can't tell me. Like, they made money off of somebody because they pulled it off. Short, sticky coverage.
Coming.
Yes.
I mean, Tony's got two big circles.
And Nance following it up. Yeah, he's coming.
He's got two big circles for a pair of huevos. And then he's got two lines. All he needed to do was circle the top for the quarterback. Man. I swear, like Tony was in his bag. He was completely oblivious to what he was doing.
No way.
And, I think he was totally oblivious. And I think at that point, somebody in his microphone said, "Kill the telestrator," because he was about to put a big old circle, a big fat tip on that, and it was about to be ding dong time on the TV. And then, of course, the Ravens don't even execute the defense, and they give up the first down anyway. But I mean, he literally was. I
think he knew, man.
He was a heartbeat away from drawing a big old ding dong right on the heart of the TV.
Look, Jim Nance
in yellow.
Jim Nance played it perfectly, and listening to that, watching this happen, like after the fact, it brought me back. And this was like just a couple of weeks ago. Did you guys happen to see Chris Rose and Maurice Jones-Drew on I think it was their pregame show? Chris, we don't have the audio, I don't think, but Chris Rose asked Maurice Jones-Drew, talking about the Kansas City Chiefs, if they could ride the defense. But instead of saying ride the defense, he said, do you think, to Maurice Jones-Drew, do you think they can ride the D? And Maurice Jones-Drew, pauses, looks at him before he's about to break out in laughter, and there's 1,000, 1,000, and he looks at Chris Rose, and Rose is like, defense?
Dude, he hit him with an epic side eye, right?
It was so good.
That side eye literally called Chris Rose every inappropriate name in the book with one glance. See, you think they could ride the D? And he just hit him this look like, mofo, you about to get it.
Oh, the defense?
And he says it like when you're a little kid and you say something you shouldn't, and then you're like, I meant spit.
Oh my God, that was so good. So that was a classic from the broadcast that millions saw this weekend, except for me because I was piddling around in the garage with the sound off. I'll never do that again on a Nance and Romo broadcast. Jim Harbaugh was on the pregame show on CBS, and I got to give this dude props. I know people hate this guy, but he kept it real. Take a listen.
Yeah, it was tough. I was torn. My wife, kids. I love Michigan, but I love the NFL too. And there's no Lombardi Trophy in college football. And yeah, I got so many sands left in the hourglass, and I want to take a crack at that. And there's nowhere better to do it than with the Los Angeles Chargers, Susie Spanos, Dean Spanos, Ed McGuire, John Spanos, and this great quarterback.
Oh yeah, so have you talked to him?
I have, and I met him. And Derwin James, I mean, pros, these guys, Keenan Allen. But I was a little starstruck.
So two things I loved about that. He admitted that, hey, you can't win a damn Lombardi in college. Like, my brother, he's about to get one. Like, I'm going to try to go get another one. And then admitting that he's starstruck. I mean, he was talking up there like, I can't believe I'm in this position. I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe I'm going to get a chance to coach these guys. That was awesome.
Look, next time we play audio like that, can you give me a head up so I can get my hip waders on? Because it was getting shoveled, and it was getting shoveled hard and fast. I mean, I was starstruck. Dude, stop it. Stop it. Why are you lying? Talking about Dean Spanos and John. That's like one of the worst ownership groups in all the NFL. Like, oh, these guys are so great. Why? Because they're paying you an ungodly amount of money?
Yes.
Yes, sir. That's exactly why they're so great. Yeah, come on. Man, I think that, and look, the Chargers are a franchise that's like cursed, right? It doesn't matter who the quarterback is, who the coach is. The owner's always the same. And this team finds a way to steal defeat from the jaws of victory every single year. If Harbaugh can't fix them, fold the damn franchise.
Yeah.
Just fold the franchise.
That is true.
At least he doesn't have Trent Baalke to sabotage him while he's putting the team together.
They've got decades of snatching the jaws of defeat from victory. There's no doubt about
Jim
that.
Harbaugh, 14-2, loses in the divisional round, fired.
I don't know, man.
It's happened before.
I'm here for
to
it.
some guy whose name rhymes with Schmartenschleimer.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, it's 10 o'clock.
What?
It's 10 o'clock.
No, it isn't.
Time to say goodnight. It's time to say goodnight.
No, I don't want to leave.
Well, we get to do it all over again tomorrow.
In fact, we get to do it early tomorrow. 8:20, find Sean and I on Fox 26 with the incomparable, ageless Hollywood Nay Griffin.
Let's go, baby. Nathan Crate and Bajani tomorrow morning, Fox 26. Be watching 8:20. For Chris Santiago, Patrick Creighton, Sean Bajani, it's Area 45 on Sports Radio 610. Good night, everybody.
It's time.
Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen.
Your favorite hosts in Houston are headed to Vegas. Yingling Flight presents Sports Radio 610 live from Radio Row. Thanks to Low T Center, the entire week leading up to the big game. The best football conversation, interviews,